Chapter 3081. Chen Shang didn't know what the Heaven Old Orcs was, but Feng Ke actually had a faint feeling of fear toward this kind of Heaven Old Orcs. Have you seen this kind of Heaven Old Orcs before? Chen Shang asked. I have. Above Myriad Dao, this thing is humanity's natural enemy. Feng Ke said in a low voice. You must be careful, although the Heaven Old Orcs here aren't very strong, they aren't weak either. With your current strength, it would be difficult to deal with them. It's something that's above Myriad Dao. Chen Shang was shocked. Could it be that they came down from the Myriad Dao themselves? If they came down from the top, then their power must be terrifying. No, Feng Ke shook his head. If they really came down from above, you wouldn't have been able to escape. The Heaven Old Orcs above Myriad Dao is indeed very strong. Then how was the Heaven Old Orcs born here? Asked. Currently, he was still in the Myriad Dao forest. If this thing was truly frightening, he might have to find another safe place to cultivate. I'm not too sure either. Above Myriad Dao, this thing was bred by a mysterious power, and it was born into a human body. However, it had a very strong beast heart, and this beast heart made it extremely powerful, as terrifying as a world-defying beast. Feng Ke said. There were a few human rankers who caught a human together. At that time, they let the beast heart escape, and in the end, the beast heart was able to breed a new powerful human body in a short period of time, and then return back to find those humans and kill them. It's so scary. Can I still stay here? Chen Shang was shocked. It should be possible. They aren't the kind that is scary like the Myriad Dao. Looks like you have to cultivate the primordial divine body as soon as possible, otherwise dealing with this kind of guy will be extremely difficult. Feng Ke said. The one you met just now should be considered the stronger Heaven Old Orcs here, but you can still escape from him. Why did so many Heaven Old Orcs suddenly appear here? Chen Shang knew that a lot of things had suddenly happened, and the toad's head had been injured. I guess it's because there are huge stones here, and these stones fell down from the Myriad Dao, containing a certain amount of mysterious power. On top of the Myriad Dao, there is a very strange and mysterious power. I don't know what it is, but it will enter the human body and become a part of the human power. Feng Ke said. It could be that after being nurtured for a period of time, they were born together. The person Chen Shang met just now was a golden-haired old man, who didn't seem to have just been born. Looks like we can only avoid these guys. I just don't know if they will be able to leave this Myriad Dao forest. Chen Shang suddenly heard a burst of muffled sound from far away, like a thunder from far away. He was standing there, watching the battle. Heaven Old Orcs should be fighting for their territory. They also do this kind of thing frequently in Myriad Dao. Although they fight with each other a lot, they usually don't kill the other party. Feng Ke said. Chen Shang had also seen just now that after the golden-haired Heaven Old Orcs defeated her, she would let her opponent leave, and did not finish him off. Chen Shang dug a deep pit in the ground. He planned to hide underground and have Feng Ke create a few layers of enchantments so that his presence could be isolated. Even if he were to make a huge commotion while concocting pills, he did not need to worry about his presence being detected by the Heaven Old Orcs above. I feel that these Heaven Old Orcs may not be able to leave the Myriad Dao forest, but they definitely have a way to leave. Once they fight for their own territory, an ancient emperor will appear, and at that time, this emperor will join forces with the other Heaven Old Orcs to break the restrictions on them. Feng Ke said. He thought that he would just have to deal with the world-defying stage clan, but from the looks of it, these Heaven Old Orcs were also a big threat. Alright, now let's see if we can successfully refine the world-defying Heavenly Dan. Chen Shang did not have much confidence in refining this pill. The main thing was that Myriad Dao Dan God had previously said that this pill was extremely difficult to refine. Chen Shang took out the Tianchuang furnace from the secret underground room. The Tianchuang furnace had already merged with the Myriad Dao divine soil, becoming extremely sturdy. This allowed Chen Shang to feel more at ease. Otherwise, with such a high-level medicinal ingredient like the world-defying heaven fruit, once the energy exploded, he would definitely find it hard to endure. If I refine it, will I really be able to cultivate the primordial divine body? Although Feng Ke knew that Chen Shang was good at refining pills, he still found it hard to believe. It was because cultivating the primordial divine body was extremely difficult. If Chen Shang was able to refine it, it could be said to be a huge overturning point. As long as there was enough of these pellets in the future, it would allow many people to cultivate the primordial divine body. If Myriad Dao Dan God didn't lie to me, then it shouldn't be wrong. Chen Shang took out the world-defying heaven fruit. This type of fruit was very special once it had ripened. The previous fruit was only a seed and had been stored for many years, so its characteristics were not revealed. Right now, the world-defying heaven fruit in his hand was very fresh. There was a faint silvery white fog flowing on the surface. This white fog could not be dispersed no matter how he blew, and it slowly surrounded the silver-white world-defying heaven fruit like immortal fog. It's very hot. After holding it in his hand for a period of time, Chen Shang actually felt that it was very scalding. He had no choice but to throw it into the Tianchuang furnace. What a strange thing. After Chen Shang threw the world-defying heaven fruit into the cauldron, he suddenly saw that outside of the cauldron, there was a layer of frost. What's going on? Didn't you say that it was very hot? Feng Ke felt that it was unbelievable. She also saw that Chen Zhang's hands were burnt red and were still smoking. However, a layer of frost had appeared on the surface of the cauldron. I don't know. It's very strange. Chen Shang frowned and said, this fruit is beginning to emit heat again. No, other than the hot air, there is an even more unique aura. What kind of power is this? Quote. Before he had even started concocting, so many strange things had happened. This made him feel that it would be even more difficult to concoct the pills in the future. Whatever, let's set a fire to see what it's like. He immediately released his strongest world-defying god fire. The world-defying god fire began to burn intensely, wrapping up all the world-defying heaven fruit. There's no movement. Is it okay to continue burning like this? Chen Shang tried using another method to burn the fruit. Originally, he thought that he could easily succeed, but not long later, he saw the fruit suddenly tremble, and then the flames wrapped around the fruit completely submerged into the fruit. The strong world-defying god fire that he had released had all been swallowed by this fruit, almost in an instant. Chapter 3082. Chen Shang was startled, and continued releasing the world-defying god fire. What made him angry, was that no matter how many world-defying god fire he released, they would all be immediately engulfed, and if he continued releasing, the world-defying heaven fruit would also continue to absorb his flames. This way of refining the pellet was simply impossible to continue, which made Chen Shang very depressed. I'll see if I can use other techniques to succeed. After that, he used a variety of refining methods, all of which were specially designed to deal with this kind of stubborn medicinal ingredient. However, after trying them one by one, he did not succeed. It's a failure. There's no other way. This guy actually devoured them all. Chen Shang was a little disappointed. He had tried for many days and all of them had ended up like this. Why don't you just continue releasing the flames and see how much of this fruit it can be devoured? If he can't continue devouring it, that would be easy, right? Feng Ke laughed. Alright, I'll try. Chen Shang used the time domain, then released the strongest world-defying god fire. He planned to burn it for a very long time, which might actually be what Feng Ke said. However, after a few months had passed, the world-defying heaven fruit was still able to absorb a large amount of his flames without any reaction. This made him feel extremely helpless. This thing can't be fed at all. Chen Shang sighed. What exactly happened? I'll just eat and take a look. There was nothing he could do now. He planned to eat it directly and see if he could find out what was so special about it. This fruit was the size of an apple. He had originally planned to take a bite out of it, but as he was trying to do so, he felt a sharp pain in his teeth and nearly broke. Mother CKER, this thing is too tough. Chen Shang couldn't help but curse, then covered his mouth. He had used a lot of strength to bite just now. How could he have known that it would be so sturdy? Let's try using my golden needle to see if it can be pierced. Feng Ke took out his invincible golden needle. After Chen Shang received it, he pierced the fruit very smoothly. He had no choice but to admit that the golden needle was indeed terrifying. It can pierce through. After Chen Shang pulled out the golden needle, he wanted to pour some flame into the hole, but the moment the needle was pulled out, the little hole above started to heal. So that's how it is. This fruit has an extremely strong defensive layer on the surface, and the regeneration ability inside is very strong. It's a bottomless pit that can swallow large amounts of fire. Chen Shang used his gold needle again. He could feel a bit of resistance when he pierced the skin, but it became much easier after piercing through the skin. You can do this, Feng Ke suddenly said excitedly, although this golden needle is very small, but you can use it to directly send the flames to the inside of the fruit, and then you will be able to break through the defense of the fruit. Chen Zhang's eyes lit up. This was indeed a good idea, he would immediately try it out. Very quickly, he successfully channeled the flames through the end of the golden needle. What surprised him was that the golden needle was absorbed very well by the world-defying god fire, and after extracting his world-defying god fire, it would be strengthened a lot, and in the end, it would be transported from the top of the golden needle to the inner parts of the world-defying heaven fruit. Let's see if you can absorb it this time. Chen Shang held the world-defying heaven fruit in his hand. What made him more suspicious was that the world-defying heaven fruit had never shown any signs of burning, nor did it emit any icy qi. When he had such doubts, he suddenly felt a burst of coldness, causing him to turn pale in fright. Because his entire hand was instantly frozen, and he felt that the icy cold power was quickly spreading, he had no choice but to call out the heavenly magic sword, slashing his palm down from his wrist. His broken palm fell to the ground and instantly shattered into ice crystals. The world-defying heaven fruit on top of it also tumbled to the ground. So dangerous, I was almost killed by that thing. Chen Shang closed his eyes and had the Mei Jing sisters channel the power of rebirth into his severed arm. It seems like this fruit will most likely be able to refine a pill that would allow one to cultivate an unparalleled divine body. Since it's so terrifying, the defensive power of oneself will be very strong. Feng Ke said. Chen Shang nodded. Under the infusion of a large amount of life force from the Mei Jing sisters, his severed arm had already grown back. He stretched his wrist and nimbly moved his fingers a bit, finally letting out a sigh of relief. You can't take it directly. I must have been a great threat to him, and that's why I fought back so hard. Chen Shang said, previously, this fruit swallowed a large amount of my world-defying god fire, it should be used to cultivate. Chen Shang used the heavenly magic sword to hack a few times, but only left a few faint marks, and did not successfully dodge it. He used the heavenly magic sword to carry the fruit into the Chuangshi god furnace. I'll give it back to you. Chen Shang took out the golden needles and gave it to Feng Ke. You don't need my method? Feng Ke asked. There's no need. Let me try and see if I can use the time and space power to directly send the flames into the fruit. Chen Shang said, then closed his eyes and released the time and space power. This was only one of his conjectures, but after he tried for a bit, he did not succeed. This world-defying heaven fruit actually managed to cultivate such a strong defensive barrier, it was able to resist his time and space power from infiltrating it. Chen Shang immediately told Feng Ke about this shocking discovery. Xiao Ke, I might need your help next. It's obvious that there are all sorts of arrays within this thing. These arrays are all formed naturally, and form all kinds of enchantments, which is why it has such a strong defense. Chen Shang said. Alright, I'll take a look for myself. After Feng Ke ran out, he immediately controlled this fruit to float in front of her, and then carefully examined it. Very quickly, she saw many very small lines under the skin. These lines looked dense and complicated, but they were actually very profound array spirit grain. Sure enough, Feng Ke saw through it with a glance, and he was extremely excited. As long as you destroy this formation, you can easily deal with this fruit. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Can you do it? Of course not. After Feng Ke finished speaking, he immediately began. She closed her eyes and a small dot of light appeared on her forehead. Afterwards, a faint beam of light shot out from inside, hitting the world-defying heaven fruit's surface, revealing a layer of faint light mist. This was Chen Zhang's first time seeing her using this method. Alright, Feng Ke only opened his eyes a short while later and laughed. I've succeeded, and I've even learned this thing's spirit grain. The world is big, and there's nothing too bizarre about it. This kind of fruit is actually born with such a strange and powerful spirit grain. Chapter 3083. Chen Shang took the world-defying heaven fruit in his hands and laughed. I feel much better now. Previously, this guy always wanted to bite me, but now, it seems like his teeth have been pulled out. The fruit in Chen Zhang's hand started to sway, but was held tightly by Chen Shang, and was unable to escape his grasp. But the surface is still very firm. I feel like you can't burn it directly with fire. Feng Ke replied, you'll know once you try. Chen Shang first used the heavenly magic sword to cut it down. Then, he threw the fruit into the Tianchuang furnace and used a blazing flame to burn it. Why would it still consume? When Chen Shang saw that the flames he released were immediately engulfed, he shouted out in shock. I only destroyed the spirit grain on the surface. There are many spirit grain inside this fruit, so it's very difficult to destroy them. Feng Ke said, even if it is destroyed, it can regenerate very quickly. Rapid regeneration. Chen Shang was puzzled. Didn't they destroy the spirit grain? Can spirit grain also be reborn? Quote. The spirit grains inside are all made up of the tiny tendons of the fruit itself. These tendons are the spirit grains, so even if I break through, I'll still be a complete spirit grain after I revive. Feng Ke said. However, the spirit grain on the surface is not like that. Although the spirit grain on the surface is made up of a part of the fruit itself, I sealed a small part of it and it caused the entire spirit grain to lose its effectiveness. But I can only seal it. It's just on the surface, but it's not on the inside. Therefore, it was not as simple as Chen Shang had imagined it to be. If he wanted to continue refining, it would be very difficult. What's the use of damaging the spirit grains on the surface? Chen Shang asked again. This fruit will not be able to release the power that will stop your time and space power. Feng Ke said, you'll know once you try. Chen Shang tried it and sure enough, the flame could be poured directly into the fruit through the air and then burn it inside. However, the fruit would still swallow and absorb his fire, which was why refining the fire from the inside failed. There's another way. Chen Shang still planned to use the power of space. It was just that he did not seep his flames inside, but rather used space to divide the fruit into 4 parts. He tried it, and instantly succeeded. The barrier that was blocking the time and space power on the surface of the world-defying heaven fruit had lost its effectiveness, so he could very successfully use space slicing to separate space. Xiao Ka, seal a portion of it, so that this part of the fruit cannot be related to the other 3 parts. This way, you can cut off the formation of the spirit grain inside them. Chen Shang said. Alright. Feng Ke also thought that Chen Zhang's method was very good, and immediately released a seal. After sealing a part of it, Chen Shang threw these 3 parts of the fruit inside the Tianchuang furnace, and then used fire to refine them. This time, he finally made some headway. At least his flames were not being devoured. Although he was not engulfed, his progress was very slow. Fortunately, he was able to use the time domain to envelop him, allowing him to shorten the instantaneous change from the outside. Burning the 3 pieces of fruit flesh took him a whole 3 months to succeed. Now, the 3 pieces of fruit flesh had turned into many tiny crystals in a mist, floating in the midst of the Tianchuang furnace. You can release the sealed part now, Chen Shang said. After releasing Feng Ke's portion of the energy, Chen Shang immediately grabbed the opportunity to burn it, because he was getting closer and closer to success. It took him an entire month to burn a portion of the fruit. I've finally reached this step. Chen Shang relaxed a lot at this time and let out a long sigh. There were still a lot of things that needed to be done, and all of them were not easy. It's beginning to fuse. Chen Shang fused all of the tiny medicine crystal in the mist inside, and through the power of Feng Ke's seal, quickly formed a large silver-white crystal. Then, he used the derivation technique to make the crystal produce 9.5 times the size of small crystals. This took him a whole year. The process is really long. Feng Ke sighed. The effects of this pill are so strong that it's a must. It's not easy to concoct at all, so I might need more time. Chen Shang was not planning to go against them anymore. He was very clear that he did not have the strength to do so after he had gained the upper hand from the current situation. Thus, he was able to directly fuse them together. 9.5 crystals were produced, fusing together with the original body and improving the quality greatly. Finally, it would have to be compressed into a very small pill. Xiao Ka, thank you for your hard work, Chen Shang said. It's nothing. Just remember, in the future, just help me refine one. I also need to cultivate a very powerful divine body. Feng Ke laughed. She worked really hard, because it was very difficult to fuse them together and it was even harder to compress them into a very small pellet. All of this required her to release a very strong sealing power to carry out. Would only be assisting him in this later stage, as transferring his own world-defying stage divine power into Feng Ke's sealing power would be able to reduce his energy consumption. You pill refining boy, I can't even do what you can do. Chen Shang laughed bitterly. If not for Feng Ke, he would not even have used the derivation method, because he would never have been able to fuse it and condense it into a pill. After Feng Ke released the sealing power, he started to integrate it. His progress was slow, and it would take a lot of time. The amount of time needed to condense the pellet was beyond Chen Zhang's expectations. It actually took 2 full years, and it only added up to more than 3 years. Of course, outside, only 40 to 50 days had passed. Mother CKER, can this pill really allow one to cultivate an unrivaled divine body? As Chen Shang held the world-defying heavenly Dan that was shining with a silvery light, he couldn't help but become excited. Even if it was those world-defying stage clan S, it would still be difficult for their own young disciples to cultivate and reach the primordial divine body. Otherwise, a person with a great power like He Huang would have cultivated the primordial divine body long ago. However, the He clan had been searching for a way, so their slaves that were wearing the slave in purple costume clothes might have come out from the experiment. Let's eat them, Feng Ke urged. She was even more agitated than Chen Shang at the moment. Chen Shang did not remove his spatial domain. He was worried that he would need a longer time to refine it. After eating the world-defying heavenly Dan, Chen Shang immediately felt himself enter a very comfortable state. A faint silvery white glow flowed out from the surface of his body and wisps of smoke curled up into the air. As Feng Ke watched from the side, he could not help but turn pale from shock. The spirit grain inside that fruit has not been completely refined, and is currently still appearing within his body. This kind of pill is indeed not simple. Who knows what kind of method he will use to cultivate the primordial divine body. Chapter 3084. After eating the world-defying heavenly Dan, Chen Shang fell into a deep slumber. He did not feel that many spirit grains were gradually appearing in his body. These spirit grains formed a formation to absorb the world-defying stage divine power in his body and used it to temper his body. Other than that, the pill also released an ability that after fusing with his world-defying stage divine power, it would be able to seep into his body, refine his body more quickly, and strengthen his body. How strange. Feng Ke looked at Chen Shang outside. Chen Zhang's body was enveloped by the shimmering silver mist. When it surrounded his body, it would occasionally surge a little and enter Chen Zhang's body, and then spew out a pale white mist from Chen Zhang's body. This mist merged with the silver mist and quickly fused together. After continuing like this for a while, the silver light mist suddenly entered Chen Zhang's body, causing his body to suddenly swell up, and the skin on his body started to flicker with gold light, revealing waves of spirit qi. Feng Ke could feel that the qi he was releasing was very strong, and immediately released a few more seals, isolating the qi, although she had already set up the seals, but she was not at ease. The change isn't regular at all. What's going on? Feng Ke also did not know how long Chen Shang would have to continue like this. Chen Shang only felt very comfortable, as he was immersed in a very good state of mind, allowing his entire body to relax. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. When Chen Shang woke up, he saw Feng Ke looking at him with her big and round eyes. What's wrong? After Chen Shang woke up, he felt extremely energetic. He looked at his body and exclaimed, "It has improved a lot." But he didn't manage to cultivate the primordial divine body. Feng Ke said somewhat dejectedly. "I only ate one. It's not that easy to cultivate in the primordial divine body." Chen Shang laughed. "You have to be a bit patient. I already feel that the pills here can bring about a great improvement. If I refine a few more, I will definitely be able to cultivate the primordial divine body." There were still many world-defying heaven fruit on the world-defying heaven fruit tree, which was enough for him to refine a few pills. This was because he only needed a single fruit to refine one. In the next period of time, Chen Shang and Feng Ke worked together and continued refining world-defying heavenly Dan. With the previous experience, he could speed up a lot this time, but it would still take a lot of time. After the second pill was refined, Chen Shang immediately ate it. When he woke up, he discovered that the progress was actually even greater than last time. Soon, I feel that I only need to eat one more pill to successfully cultivate the arrogant divine body. Chen Shang was very confident. When you finish cultivating, it's my turn. I also want to cultivate my primordial divine body, so that I won't be able to beat those heaven old orcs in the future. Feng Ke could also tell that Chen Shang had improved a lot. Chen Shang started to refine the third pellet. Refining the world-defying heavenly Dan now wasn't too difficult for him, it was just that it took a lot of effort and time. Fortunately, he had Feng Ke's help, so refining the world-defying heavenly Dan would be even easier than before. After consuming the third world-defying heavenly Dan, the moment Chen Shang began to refine it, golden light began to leak out of his body. As the primordial divine body coming out, Feng Ke was pleasantly surprised. She could sense an extremely strong qi from the golden fog that was leaking out. This should be emitted from the world-defying beast in the divine sense sea. Oh right, Chen Shang still needs to cultivate his 6 beasts, so he will need to eat even more pills. No wonder I couldn't see how much of an improvement he had previously, he was already cultivating all the way up there. Only now did Feng Ke remember this matter. Chen Zhang's world-defying beast was the strongest. Now that Chen Zhang's body was able to release such a strong amount of beast's power, it meant that the 6 beasts inside the divine sense sea had already cultivated an unrivaled divine body, and following that, as long as Chen Xiang could cultivate an unrivaled divine body, he would be able to completely step into the world-defying stage's divine level. Furthermore, his strength would far surpass experts of the same level, because he had 6 world-defying green dragon. When Chen Xiang was refining the medicinal power of the 2 world-defying heavenly dans that he had eaten earlier, most of the medicinal power had indeed been absorbed by the world-defying beast. Although it looked like he was cultivating with his flesh, but the slight increase in strength meant that it would be absorbed by the world-defying beast. Feng Ke carefully observed the changes in Chen Xiang. Just as she approached, Chen Zhang's body suddenly shook, and then, he spat out a burst of red flames. Could it be that the 6 beasts' aura just now fused together again? Feng Ke hurriedly retreated. She did not know what changes were happening inside Chen Zhang's divine sense sea world. Just as she was feeling suspicious, she saw some dragon scales or Qilin armors appearing on Chen Zhang's face. Looks like the 6 beasts is fusing with his body, and is also strengthening his flesh. His cultivation method is truly unique. Feng Ke felt that it was extremely strange and observed it more carefully. After more than 20 days, Chen Zhang's body was still in a state of dragon scale and Qilin armor, but as he opened his eyes, his body returned to its original state. I did it. Chen Xiang had a very calm breakthrough, and unexpectedly, not a single bit of qi was leaked out, which Feng Ke found hard to believe. Really? But I don't seem to have felt your proud divine body. Feng Ke ran over and pinched Chen Zhang's face, and frowned. You really broke through. I really can't feel that your fleshly body is that proud of the divine body. Quote. I've really broken through. Chen Xiang laughed. My body is at the early stage of the divine body realm, so it's not very obvious for now. Feng Ke asked, what about the 6 beasts in your body? They have all successfully cultivated the primordial divine body. Chen Xiang laughed. They are becoming more powerful now. The reason why I am so slow is probably because they have absorbed a lot of medicinal power. I saw that you were in a very strange state. Feng Ke told her about Chen Zhang's condition just now. After Chen Xiang heard this, he also felt that it was very interesting, but he did not take it to heart. Next is for you to eat. Chen Xiang said. He and Feng Ke had teamed up and refined 3 pellets in one go. What he did not expect was that Feng Ke only ate 1 pill to cultivate his primordial divine body. He was much faster than him. Breaking through with just 1 pill, this world-defying heavenly dan is too scary. Feng Ke had thought that he needed to eat 3 pills just like Chen Zhang's. Of course, Chen Xiang chuckled. Whoever made this pill, succeeded in heading to the myriad Dao from here. The pill formulas left behind by the myriad Dao Dan God were extremely useful to him. He would be able to continue consuming these pills to cultivate in the future. Chapter 3085. Now that he only had 2 pills, he gave these 2 pills to the Mei Jing sisters. If they were to improve, the cultivation of world-defying heaven fruit would speed up even more in the future. During their cultivation, Chen Xiang and Feng Ke continued to refine world-defying heavenly dans together. They needed more than 2 years to refine a single world-defying heavenly dan, roughly 30 months. To the outside, only 1 month had passed. Xiao Ke, I want to try refining the world-defying heavenly dan on my own. Chen Xiang said, you only need to help me destroy the spirit grain's outer appearance. All right, Feng Ke nodded. This was the first time Chen Xiang had refined a world-defying heavenly dan by himself, and the process was extremely difficult. If he had teamed up with Feng Ke, he would only need 30 months to complete 1 pellet. Not bad. Without me being able to refine it, I thought you would be unable to do it by yourself. Feng Ke laughed. Right now, I have cultivated the primordial divine body, all right. Refining it out is quite easy. Chen Xiang snorted. He just did not have Feng Ke's powerful sealing power. He felt that if he were to use his own 6 realms mirrors, it would be able to increase his speed. He took out another world-defying heaven fruit and was about to start refining it, when he suddenly felt a weak vibration. Now, he was hiding in the depths of the earth, and these vibrations meant that the ground was shaking. Read. He might even be that kind of powerful heaven old orcs. I wonder if the heaven old orcs is fighting on top. I am a little worried that it will affect me. Chen Xiang looked up. At the moment, he was in a stone room. He had been here for a while, but there had never been such a commotion. Go up and take a look, you'll see that your current strength is not weak, even if you meet a heaven old orcs like last time, you can still run away. Feng Ke said. That's true. Chen Shang kept his Tianchuang furnace and prepared to take a breather. However, just as he was about to take action, his stone chamber violently shook. With a bang, something broke through the stone chamber's wall and a person tumbled inside. Chen Shang never thought that someone would find her way to this place. Feng Ke felt that it was even more unbelievable, because she had used so many layers of sealing powers to hide this place. Logically, it was impossible for people to find this place. You, who are you? Chen Shang anxiously asked. He had already summoned the heavenly magic sword. Young man, calm down. The man stood up, and anxiously patted the dust off his body. It was a middle-aged man who was dressed in reminiscence, with 2 whiskers on his face. His appearance was extremely ordinary, but his 2 whiskers were especially eye-catching. He saw Chen Shang looking at his whiskers, he laughed and touched them. You are the heaven old orcs. Felt the chi on his body and shouted, as though he was facing a powerful enemy. The heaven old orcs was extremely powerful, even though he had already cultivated the primordial divine body, he still had to be extremely careful when facing against such a strong heaven old orcs. You actually know our nickname. The middle-aged man was also surprised, but he smiled and said, don't be afraid of me, I am just an extremely weak heaven old orcs. Really? But you can come here. Chen Shang did not believe his lies. He knew clearly about Feng Ke's seal, the 3 layers of enchantments and the seals that surrounded the stone room, but he had still found it. Furthermore, he had even crawled in. Do you think I look strong? The middle-aged man laughed. My name is Chen Kai, you can just call me Ah Kai. Hey, I'm very familiar with you. Chen Shang saw the middle-aged man laugh and try to get close to him, so when he was about to pat his shoulder, he quickly took a few steps back. I really have no ill intentions. I know that our heaven old orcs has a bad reputation, but I am a good heaven old orcs. Chen Kai laughed. If I really had any ill intentions, I would have already hit you. You even said that you're very weak, yet you can actually beat me. Chen Shang scoffed. I'm not very familiar with you, and I don't want to get to know you. I don't blame you for breaking this place. Quote. So that's how it is. I'll help you settle it. Chen Kai saw that the hole had been smashed open by him, and nodded his head. He waved his hand, releasing a burst of gray mist, and after the mist blocked the hole, he sucked in the stone soil that had fallen to the ground. In the blink of an eye, the hole was blocked by him. I told you to leave this place. Chen Shang pointed his sword at Chen Kai. Young man, don't be agitated, your sword is so powerful, I think it has myriad Dao divine soil painted on it, right? Chen Kai looked carefully at the heavenly magic sword in Chen Zhang's hand and was suddenly shocked. Yes. Chen Shang nodded and said, quickly go, I am very worried about you staying here. It would be such a waste for a myriad Dao divine soil like you to be smeared on it. If you let me control it, I can make your sword even more powerful. Chen Kai said, what a waste of myriad Dao divine soil. Chen Kai shook his head and sighed at the same time, as if his flesh was cut off. When Feng Ke, who was in Yuyao Mountain Villa, heard this, he immediately felt very unhappy. He ran out and snorted, who the hell are you with these 2 sideburns? Myriad Dao divine soil is just something I applied to my sword, isn't that the best way to use it? Myriad Dao divine soil does not need to be smelted, adding on that his sword is already damaged, I am only applying it to repair it. Quote. So it was you who did it, little girl. No wonder, you can forgive me. Chen Kai laughed, he wanted to reach out to pinch Feng Ke's cute little face, but was slapped away by Feng Ke. I'm not very familiar with you, so don't even think about pinching me. Feng Ke immediately hid behind Chen Shang, and due to her anger, she quickly flapped her beautiful transparent wings. If it was you, what would you do? Feng Ke only felt that the other party's tone was a little inappropriate, but if this Chen Kai was truly strong and refining, she could still learn from him. Chen Shang still had not figured out his purpose for coming here. Why are you here? How did you find this place? Chen Shang asked. There's a very strong spirit grains aura here, I was born to be able to sense it, so I came here. I originally thought that there was some kind of treasure hidden here, but I didn't expect to see you here after entering. You are also very brave, there are so many heaven old orcs outside, you actually dare to hide here. Chen Kai laughed, but don't worry, even though I am a heaven old orcs, I am a good beast man. Chen Shang also did not know how strong this Chen Kai was, because he did not sense Chen Kai's qi, but he could sense that special feeling the other party had from the heaven old orcs. Rumble rumble rumble, a violent vibration came over, causing Chen Shang to frown, as the battle at the top. Chapter 3086. Chen Kai placed his hand on the stone wall, and after he closed his eyes, he nodded his head. They are fighting, but you don't have to worry, it won't affect us here. The place you have chosen is pretty good, and the formations are very beautiful. Those idiots will definitely not be able to discover this place. Right, are you the one who set up these powerful formations? Chen Kai looked at Chen Shang curiously. You don't look like someone who knows how to arrange formations, you don't have the aura of a spirit grain either. Feng Ke laid on Chen Zhang's shoulder, curled his lips and said, it was all arranged by this lady. Do I not have the aura of a spirit grain on my body? Chen Kai found it even more interesting. Really, not a single bit. This is indeed very strange, awesome. After being praised, Feng Ke was secretly happy in his heart. His attitude towards Chen Kai was much better. Sit down, let's have a good chat. I really have no ill intentions. Chen Kai took out a table for Chen Shang and his sister to sit. Just as Chen Shang was about to put away the heavenly magic sword, he saw Chen Kai anxiously shouting, don't put it away first, let me see. Chen Shang hesitated for a moment, then handed the heavenly magic sword over. This sword itself is pretty good, but it's too weak. Later on, it was destroyed, causing the spirit grain inside to lose their effectiveness. Right now, use the myriad Tao divine soil to make the spirit grains inside perfectly fit each other, and also increase the strength of the sword. Chen Kai caressed the heavenly magic sword and said, $1 read novels YBDU. Chen Shang and Feng Ke hurriedly nodded. The situation with the heavenly magic sword was indeed like that. Isn't that good? We do not have many myriad Tao divine soil so we can only use a small dot to rub it. Although Feng Ke was aware of the myriad Tao divine soil's benefits, she herself wasn't very clear about how to use them either. You just applied it onto the sword after heating it up. Although it can make the sword's strength increase, this is a relatively simple usage, but there is still a better use, which is to refine the myriad Tao divine soil into the sword, and then completely fuse with the spirit grain inside the sword, allowing the energy of the myriad Tao divine soil to transform into the spirit grain. This way, the sword can increase even more, and become even more sturdy. After Chen Kai finished speaking, his two fingers suddenly turned gold, flashing with a burst of golden light. He used two fingers to hold onto the sword blade, and then rolled it over. He saw that between his fingers, there was a bit of a pale gold thing, and it was actually myriad Tao divine soil. You took down the myriad Tao divine soil. Feng Ke said in shock. Yes, I'll teach you how to use the myriad Tao divine soil. Chen Kai laughed, although I'm not very good at it myself, I feel that I can use it better than you. After he finished speaking, he pinched the tip of the sword and released a golden light that enveloped the blade. In just a few moments, the blade of the sword was enveloped by this golden light. Let's go. With a soft shout, the golden light around the sword disappeared, and the sword turned red. Chen Shang had already seen that the golden light that Chen Kai had released was that of a world-defying god fire, and it was extremely special as well. Just now, he had used a very short amount of time to burn the sword's body red. Now, I will refine the myriad Tao divine soil into the sword. Chen Kai stopped smiling and turned serious. He smeared the myriad Tao divine soil that he just took off onto the two sides of the sword once again, and then used his palm to continuously hit the sword, releasing a very powerful force every time it hit the sword. However, the force of the impact just hit the sword and disappeared. He very accurately controlled the impact and used it to strike the two sides of the sword blade, inserting the myriad Tao divine soil on the surface into the sword blade. Bang bang bang, he kept hitting the sword body. It took him a whole hour to stop, and the heavenly magic sword that was originally red also started to fade. Alright, Chen Kai returned the heavenly magic sword to Chen Shang, and laughed, looks like it's better than what you had before. After Feng Ke received it, he took a careful look at it and nodded, it's too much, you're really awesome. You're too kind. Chen Kai laughed, oh right, why are you guys hiding here? Chen Kai's nose moved and said, there is a very strange smell. This smell must have come from some plants. We've finished eating the fruit here. Feng Ke said, since Chen Shang could refine such a powerful pill, she would definitely not talk about this kind of thing. What's the situation up there? Chen Shang asked. We have been here for quite some time, we do not know the situation up here. The heaven old orcs is fighting on top, fighting until their heads bled in order to become the human emperor. They are really a group of simple-minded people. Chen Kai shook his head and laughed. I felt bored and decided to walk around. I didn't think that I would actually be able to find you guys. It's really rare to meet humans in this world. How did the heaven old orcs appear? A large group suddenly appeared. Feng Ka asked. The main reason is that a large amount of stones fell from the myriad Dao, and we were sealed inside those stones before. We were the weaker heaven old orcs, so we were sent here, and our goal was to rule over this place. It was just that, I never thought that once everyone broke the seal on this place, they would start fighting for the territory, and now that the competition for the highest position of the human emperor was almost over. Chen Kai said. You all can't leave this myriad Dao forest. Are you all restricted to one area? Chen Shang asked. Yes, this is mainly due to the restriction of the law of this world. We are still unable to leave this place, but after a period of time, it will be fine, because once the human emperor is born, everyone will contribute a part of their power to the human emperor, and he will be able to break through the restriction of the law, and then we will be able to leave this place. Chen Kai said. How many people like you in heaven old orcs? You look peaceful. Why are they so cruel? Feng Ka scoffed. You made a mess here. We were almost killed by a golden-furred old man earlier. Is this the golden-haired old man? This fellow has a very high chance of becoming the human emperor. Chen Kai laughed out loud. I am a weirdo within the heaven old orcs. I did not want to come, but my cultivation is too low, so I was thrown in here. Our goal is to destroy the laws of the myriad Dao. As for whether or not we can succeed, I am not concerned at all. Quote. Originally, Chen Shang wanted to go up and take a look, but he felt that it was no longer necessary. He took out the 6 realms mirrors, wanting to see if he could contact Murong Honglian. He decided to make a trip to the Murong family. Little Red Lotus. Chen Shang saw that Murong Honglian was in the forest outside of the Murong family mansion and shouted. Chen Shang, how have you been? Myriad Dao forest is very dangerous, are you still inside? After waiting for a long time, Murong Honglian's voice finally appeared in her mind. Chapter 3087. When Murong Honglian was in the Murong family, he also found out what happened in the Myriad Dao forest. There were many powerful heaven old orcs that suddenly appeared, and all sorts of intense battles broke out, causing a huge commotion that could be seen from the outside of the Myriad Dao forest. You also know the situation in Myriad Dao forest. Chen Shang thought about it, and felt that the Murong family still paid more attention to the Myriad Dao forest. Several world-defying stage clans had met to discuss the situation inside the Myriad Dao forest. He clan knows a lot about the situation inside, so he has to listen to he clan's advice this time. Murong Honglian said, I am not too sure about the specifics, I only know that a lot of powerful people suddenly appeared and are fighting inside. I was worried that something might have happened to you inside. Chen Shang laughed. How could I have gotten into trouble that easily? By the way, how is your Murong family now? Previously, he had agreed with Murong Honglian that he would return to the Murong family with her within 10 years and ask her to save his master, but it had only been 2 years now. Murong Honglian was not in a rush, so she didn't bring up this matter. The Murong family is still the same as ever. They saw that I often stayed at their house, so they urged me to bring you back within 20 years to let them take the world-defying green dragon and myriad Dao treasures from your hands. Murong Honglian sighed. In that case, you're not in a rush to deal with your master right now, right? I haven't prepared enough yet, so in a few years' time. Chen Shang said. If possible, you can contact me. I will be staying in the forest outside of the Murong family's residence. There will be people from the Murong family patrolling the area, so it will be quite safe. Murong Honglian said, this way, you can contact me more often. Chen Shang had already planned to follow Murong Honglian to the Murong family after cultivating the primordial divine body, but now that he had other plans, he felt that he wasn't prepared enough. Alright, I will contact you when the time comes. Chen Shang put away the 6 realms mirrors and then took out a small piece of myriad Dao divine soil. He had previously searched for the myriad Dao divine soil in this myriad Dao forest, and obtained this from the He clan's hands. However, he didn't know that the He clan had been snatched away by him, but he did know that their slave in purple costume had found the myriad Dao divine soil. When Chen Kai saw Chen Shang take out the myriad Dao divine soil, he said in shock, you actually have quite a few myriad Dao divine soils. Where did you get them from? Chen Shang laughed, I found it inside this myriad Dao forest. It's hidden inside a rock. The heaven old orcs on top of it fight a lot. Chen Kai shook his head and sighed. Those barbarians do not recognize this good stuff, it will only be wasted in their hands. Although a small piece of myriad Dao divine soil like you is quite small, you can actually refine very strong weapons. Chen Shang had also just seen that Chen Kai was more proficient in using myriad Dao divine soil's artifact forging and had used it better than Feng Ka, which was why he had intentionally brought it out. Can you refine it as strong as that needle? Chen Shang was extremely envious of Feng Ka's golden needle. It was just that he needed something even bigger to be as big as a sword. This would allow him to easily break through defense in battle. Feng Ka's needles were not only sharp, they could also easily penetrate various kinds of energy barriers. They had good defense, but they were a little too small. Chen Shang asked Feng Ka to take out the golden needle, but she did not give it to Chen Kai. This was her treasure, but the gold was very precious, so she did not trust Chen Kai at all. Such a powerful thing. Chen Kai took a glance before taking a deep breath and praising. Good eye. When Feng Ka had first shown Chen Shang, he did not manage to recognize it at all. It was only when his own divine weapon had been pierced by this needle that he realized how powerful it was. With just a twitch of your beard, can you make that sword become as powerful as this needle? Feng Ka asked. It is difficult to be as powerful as it is, but getting close to this needle shouldn't be a problem. It's just that I don't have enough materials. Chen Kai felt that it was a little regretful. This needle of yours is very scary, it can be said to be able to destroy everything. To refine a sword to this extent, not only the ingredients, it also requires a lot of time. I know, what materials do you need? Chen Shang felt that if he had this sword, he would be able to defeat even enemies stronger than him. During battle, when both parties were at the same level of strength, if the opponent used the world-defying stage divine power to form a very strong defensive barrier, it would be very difficult to break it. Myriad Dao divine soil is enough, it's just that the amount in your hands is too little. Chen Kai stroked his beard, and shook his head. There are a lot of myriad Dao divine soil that are required, and at least 100 times more than what you have. If there is, how long do you think you will need to be able to refine it? Chen Shang asked again. About 100 years, Chen Kai said. He also wanted to refine such a powerful item, but he did not have the materials. I can get the materials, can you guarantee your success? Chen Shang had tried to refine a small piece of the myriad Dao divine soil with Feng Ka before by using a derivation method. Now, if he wanted to gather the required ingredients, he could only use a very long time to refine them. He felt that if he were to use the time domain, it would be able to shorten a lot of time. Can you really get it? Chen Kai could not believe it. After all, this was the myriad Dao divine soil, and although he did not need much, it was still very difficult to obtain. Chen Shang weighed the little myriad Dao divine soil in his hand. Although it was small, it was still 1 kilogram heavy. If it was 100 times, it would be 100 kilograms. It's true, Chen Shang smiled. He was very confident. Alright, if you really can get that many myriad Dao divine soil I am willing to help you refine them. Furthermore, I can also add some materials that I have collected to strengthen your sword. Chen Kai didn't know why, but he actually believed in Chen Shang all of a sudden. Many thanks, Chen Shang laughed. I'll go out for a while. Put my materials somewhere else. Alright, I intend to borrow some from the barbarians. Chen Kai chuckled, and then left. Chen Shang looked at the small piece of myriad Dao divine soil in his hand and said, with my current strength, I should be able to produce at least a jin after refining the inherent skill and crash method together. As long as I refine it 100 times, it would be enough. The last time he was refining the myriad Dao divine soil, he had only used a derivation method. At that time, he was not strong enough and did not dare to use the crash method, but now, both he and Feng Ka had already cultivated the primordial divine body. It will definitely work. Feng Ka was also restless. A powerful divine weapon was about to appear very quickly. Chapter 3088. Feng Ka had wanted Chen Shang to refine the myriad Dao divine soil a long time ago, so now that Chen Shang had made this plan, she was extremely happy and immediately felt a lot of motivation. Let's begin now. Chen Shang took out the Tianchuang furnace, placed the cluster of myriad Dao divine soil into the cauldron, and released the world-defying god fire to begin refining. At this moment, his world-defying god fire had also become much more resplendent, his divine flame was already close to the large success realm. Refining a myriad Tao divine soil still required a bit of time, especially when using the derivation method and the crash method. Previously, when he was refining the myriad Tao divine soil, it was only a small amount of time, but now he was refining a small ball, which was a lot more than before. I wonder if it will be as difficult as refining a world-defying heavenly Dan. The usage of the myriad Tao divine soil was huge, and it was an extremely strong material, so the difficulty would definitely be no less than that of the world-defying heavenly Dan. The last time he was refining this little, he was unable to execute crash method, and could only use the derivation method. I will definitely succeed. I still have the power of the 6 divine beasts in my body to borrow. Chen Shang closed his eyes and released the flames to burn. He had previously had the experience of being able to successfully refine one, so right now, his refining process was much smoother. Just as he had expected, because there were too many myriad Tao divine soils who could refine a single pill, refining a single pill was a little difficult. At this stage of the refining process, it was already difficult for him. However, he would not give up. The harder it was, the better it would be for him. You should be able to handle it. Feng Ke said. No problem, it's just that it will take more time. I've already endured during the refining of the world-defying heavenly Dan previously, so there's no need to talk about this. Chen Shang laughed, then wiped off his sweat. You rest first, it'll be hard on you later when you get there. Really liked refining myriad Tao divine soil S. No matter how hard it was, she would be willing to refine it. Took about 10 months to finish refining the crystal and another month to finish refining it. By using the derivation method, he took half a year to produce the small crystal. When they collided, he was very hesitant, he was worried that he would not be able to handle it, but in the end he still tried, because Feng Ke was here. Feng Ke's sealing power was still very strong, but now that she had stepped into the Divine S, he was more at ease. After a series of collisions, he and Feng Ke finally managed to suppress the power that had instantly exploded out. I've finally passed this stage. Chen Shang heaved a long sigh. This trial required the shortest amount of time, but it was the hardest, because the power that was unleashed in an instant was extremely strong. If he could not control it, even if the furnace did not explode, it would still fail, and waste the myriad Tao divine soil S. Next I just need to fuse and compress it. Feng Ke was also relieved, the next step was for her to use the power of the seal to compress it. The process was very arduous and required a long time. Chen Shang also began to rest at this time. After a period of time had passed, Feng Ke felt a sense of relief and happily shouted, "It's finally done." Chen Shang immediately took out the refined myriad Tao divine soil. He hefted it in his hand and said in pleasant surprise, "It actually weighs 3 caddies, 1 caddy can be refined into 3 caddies, it is much better than what I imagined." In this way, you don't need to refine for that long. Nodded. Previously, when he estimated that a jinn could already produce 2 jinn of pill, he already thought that it was pretty good. Right now, it was out of his expectations, much more than he had expected. It took me close to 3 years. Fortunately, with the time domain, it has only been a month outside. I have to continue refining it 50 times. Chen Shang thought about what he had to do next and felt a headache. Be contented, after all these years of trying, I still can't find you, and you only need to put in a bit of effort to refine it, but it's still so many. If those fellows above Myriad Tao were to find out, they would definitely be jealous to death. Feng Ke was very happy, she had always liked to do this kind of thing. Alright, Chen Kai hasn't come yet, let's continue refining. For the rest of the time, Chen Shang and Feng Ke continued to refine myriad Tao divine soil S day and night. With Feng Ke accompanying them in refining, Chen Shang would not feel that it was boring, and would occasionally tell Feng Ke jokes or pinch her cute cheeks. Time passed quickly, and soon, several years had passed. As for Chen Shang, who used the time domain, he had already survived more than 100 years, and had finally gathered 100 kilograms worth of myriad Tao divine soil. During this period of time, Chen Kai had come twice, both times to tell Chen Shang to wait patiently. He already knew that Chen Shang had a way to refine the myriad Tao divine soil, and when he confirmed this matter, he almost kneeled down. He was very clear on the value of the myriad Tao divine soil, but Chen Shang had a way to make the myriad Tao divine soil come out endlessly. Chen Shang and Feng Ke could finally rest. After they had rested for about 10 days, Chen Kai came again. I've collected my materials too. Where is your myriad Dao divine soil? Are you ready? Chen Kai looked to be much more excited than Feng Ke and Chen Shang, because he was prepared to refine an extremely terrifying divine tool. Look, Chen Shang took out a jade case, and laughed, are these myriad Dao divine soil enough? Enough is enough. Who knows, there might still be some left. When Chen Kai saw these myriad Dao divine soil, he nearly couldn't catch his breath, and laughed happily. Next, in just 100 years, I'll be able to refine an extremely powerful divine sword for you. Chen Shang couldn't wait for more than 100 years, and there were only 3 or so years until the agreement between him and Murong Honglian. When you are refining, do you need to absorb the myriad Dao's power outside to refine it? Chen Shang asked. No need, I only need time. You can wait 100 years, right? Chen Kai was also a fellow who had lived for many years, so he had no concept of time. I can't wait. How about this, I'll let you enter a time formation. Your time inside is different from my time outside. Chen Shang said, even so, I will not have to wait for long. Sure, Chen Kai felt that it didn't matter anymore. As long as he could refine treasures, he could do it anywhere. Not everyone would have the chance to refine so many myriad Dao divine soil S in one go. Chen Shang allowed him to enter the 6 realms mirrors, then used the power of time, and even used dual time domain S. Like this outside for a day, it was almost 3 years inside, and outside for approximately 2 months, it had been 100 years inside. Chapter 3089. Chen Shang used the power of time to cover a person's body. The consumption of energy was not too big, furthermore, he did not want to do anything else. If you succeed, when you have time in the future, make more myriad Dao divine soil S. When that time comes, refine a thing that cannot be pierced with needles. Feng Ke said. Chen Shang did not know why she was so bitterly chasing after him. Which one of my heavenly magic sword S is stronger than your golden needle? Chen Shang laughed. It should be my golden needle. Because my golden needle is relatively small, it shouldn't be a problem to pierce through your heavenly magic sword. Feng Ke smiled tenderly. When the time comes, you better not try it, or else if it breaks, you and I will be busy these past few days for nothing. Of course Chen Shang did not dare to try. Even if he wanted to, he would have to wait until he got back to the Murong family to try again. Very quickly, a month had passed. When Chen Shang let Chen Kai come out of the 6 realms mirrors and saw how happy Chen Kai was, he knew that he had already succeeded. Here, take a look for yourself. Chen Kai carefully handed the heavenly magic sword over to Chen Shang, and warned him, you better not randomly try to hack at your own things, or else your heart will ache very badly. Chen Shang found a relatively useless divine weapon, and gently cut through it. Afterwards, he took out another world-defying heaven fruit and lightly cut it in half. Previously, his heavenly magic sword could only leave a little mark on that world-defying heaven fruit, but now, it could be as simple as cutting a fruit. The improvement is really huge. Chen Shang was very happy. This sword could make his strength stronger. I wonder if I can break that golden needle. Chen Shang really wanted to try it out. Don't ever try it. That needle is very powerful. If you go and hack at it, you might damage the sword. Hearing Chen Zhang's words, Chen Kai immediately became anxious. This made Chen Shang feel quite disappointed, because Chen Kai did not have much confidence in allowing this sword to surpass the needle. Yes, my golden needles are still very strong. In the case that I'm not too sure, it's better not to randomly try. Feng Ke said. If you want to try, go up there and try. There are a few barbarian beastmen who claim that their bodies are very strong. Hee, Chen Kai laughed. Alright, Chen Shang felt that this Chen Kai was definitely not weak, otherwise he would not be able to run up and down the tower looking for the materials. Come, let's go up. Chen Kai brought Chen Shang to the ground. What surprised Chen Shang was that after he came to this place, he didn't feel like he was in the Myriad Dao Forest at all. The Myriad Dao Forest from before was a scene of devastation and devastation. It was a desolate place, but it was now a grasslands filled with greenery. There were even some tall mountains in the distance, making it seem as if the world had turned upside down. Is this really a Myriad Dao Forest? Chen Shang exclaimed. There was even a large forest in the distance. Of course, this piece of Myriad Dao Forest has already been modified. It has become pretty good. After all, there is a large group of heaven old orcs living here, and amongst these heaven old orcs, there are a few who are more human-like, able to transform this place so beautifully. Chen Kai chuckled. Now, I'll take you to find that guy who thinks that the scales on his body are indestructible. Although Chen Kai was a weirdo within the Heaven Old Orcs, he did not seem to be afraid of the Heaven Old Orcs at all. The light carriage brought Chen Shang to the side of a large river with many stone houses built beside it. Once Chen Shang arrived, many Heaven Old Orcs rushed out from the stone hut. Human, Chen Kai, you actually brought a human back. Quote. It looks soft and tender, but it definitely tastes good. Sell it to me. How much is an arm? I prefer thighs. I want a thigh. I want it too. Chen Shang saw that this group of Heaven Old Orcs were dressed very impressively, but the words that came out of their mouths made him feel cold. He suddenly felt that in the eyes of these Heaven Old Orcs, he was like a delicious cake. Enough of you, he is my friend. Chen Kai snorted, I won't even give you a single hair. If you guys want to eat it, then eat it, what's so good about human meat? Hearing Chen Kai's words, Chen Shang could not help but shiver. After all, he had been with Chen Kai for a period of time, but Chen Kai actually dared to say such to his flesh, making him feel like Chen Kai had the intention to eat him. Bastard, do you want to eat me? Chen Shang immediately sent a sound transmission to him and asked. How is that possible? What's so good about you? I said it to trick these idiots. Chen Kai replied. This group of Heaven Old Orcs did not really believe Heaven Old Orcs' words. Right now, they were looking at Chen Shang like hungry wolves looking at a little white sheep. Chen Kai was also extremely cautious along the way as he shouted, all of you better stay far away from me, or else I will kill all of you. Seeing this group of hungry Heaven Old Orcs, Chen Zhang's heart was a mess. He did not dare look at them in the eyes. Give me a finger to try it. Scram, Chen Kai bellowed, if you want to die, then immediately scram over. I haven't eaten anything in a long time. Chen Kai was a little imposing here, but when they saw him angry, the group of Heaven Old Orcs immediately jumped back into their stone houses. Chen Shang was finally relieved. Although these Heaven Old Orcs had the appearance of a human, they were still the heart of a beast, and he felt that Chen Kai was a strange existence in the Heaven Old Orcs. Chen Kai brought Chen Shang and flew across the river, arriving at the other side. The buildings on the other side of the river looked much more high class than the ones on the other side. Although Chen Shang had caused a bit of a commotion when he arrived, none of the Heaven Old Orcs said that they wanted to eat him. You have to remain calm. You are a human, and they are wild beasts. That is why they are acting this way. Chen Kai replied, with me here, you don't have to worry. Chen Shang thought about it, and felt that it was understandable. After all, he had fallen into a herd of beasts by himself, and these beasts all like to eat meat. The guy over there looks really amazing. He's very different from the guy over there. Chen Shang said, the Heaven Old Orcs at the side did not look as noble as them. Of course, only the strong can live here, and the Heaven Old Orcs here likes it to be quiet, whoever dares to make a ruckus here, will be torn apart alive. Chen Kai's words gave Chen Shang a fright, for it to be the same against its own kind. He started to worry. If this myriad Dao Forest's barrier was broken open, after this group of Heaven Old Orcs had left, it could be imagined. I feel like a lamb. I wonder if they will still look at me like this after I show my strength. Quote. That was why he had this kind of thought. In the wild beasts, only the strong were respected, and they acknowledge the strong even more than humans. Chapter 3090. Not only did the Heaven Old Orcs want to eat Chen Shang, they also looked down on a human like Chen Shang. Of course, in the Heaven Old Orcs, even if they were the same kind, as long as they were weak, they would only be tasty food. Don't worry, if you're really that capable, these guys wouldn't dare to do anything to you. Look at them, they don't dare to come here right now, mainly because they're afraid of me. Chen Kai sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. He was worried that Chen Shang would become crazy because of this. It's fine, even if you're not here, I'm not too worried. Since Chen Shang had cultivated the primordial divine body, he wasn't afraid of these Heaven Old Orcs right now. He could just use the power of space to avoid them. After Chen Kai and Chen Shang crossed the bridge, they walked along the river and arrived at a large stone house by the river. The outside of the stone house was surrounded by many stone walls. Are the guys inside very strong? Chen Shang asked softly. Since he had come here, and there were no Heaven Old Orcs nearby, he must be afraid of the owner of the stone hut, which was why he did not dare come here. Yeah, he's very strong. Even I'm a bit afraid of him. Chen Kai nodded his head. This guy had once fought with many other powerful Heaven Old Orcs for their territories, but he couldn't win against them. But he still has some strength, so he is now the king here. Chen Kai pointed to the buildings on both sides of the river. This is a place under his jurisdiction, and as the king of this part of the heaven old orcs, he can bring this group of people for war. So it's like that. Chen Shang suddenly thought back to what Chen Kai had said before. A great war had broken out here, the main reason being the battle for the human emperor realm. Who is the human emperor now? These fellows are obviously beastmen. Why do they call themselves the human sovereign and not the beast king? Quote, I'll tell you who the human emperor is, and you won't know, but I can tell you with certainty that he isn't the golden-haired old man from before. Chen Kai chuckled, then knocked on the door and continued, although we are from heaven old orcs, because we look like humans, we are called human emperor. Chen Shang still remembered that golden-haired old man. He had almost been killed earlier. Come in. A thunderous roar came from inside, shaking the stone door. Chen Kai immediately opened the door and brought Chen Shang in. After Chen Shang entered, he only saw a tall and sturdy man seated on a large stone chair. This burly man's face was filled with ferociousness. The children that saw him would definitely be scared to tears. He had a thick beard and a pair of green eyes, making him look somewhat terrifying. Bear King. After Chen Kai entered, he immediately bowed. It could be seen that he was truly a little afraid of this big guy. Chen Shang immediately followed and bowed towards Chen Kai. Is this a human? Shang Quan looked at Chen Shang with his pair of green eyes, and revealed a great deal of interest. What made Chen Shang annoyed was that this fellow actually wanted to eat him too. Yes, you should know my personality. I'm very curious about many things, so I became friends with this human. I hope you don't hurt him. Chen Kai laughed. The reason I brought him here is mainly because he doesn't believe that the heavenly bear divine scale you possess is that powerful. What is it? He wants to meet you first. The bear sneered, why should I show it to this weak human? Chen Kai shook his head, not for him to see, but for him to try. He said that they, humans, have extremely powerful weapons, and can easily break any scales. If you are unable to do so, he is willing to let you eat him. Quote. Hearing that, Chen Zhang's eyes stared widely at Chen Kai. He had never said such a thing before. Don't worry, these guys are very gullible. If you really can't do it, then just run away. Chen Kai immediately transmitted back to Chen Shang. This is interesting. Weak humans are always self-righteous. I admit that their little tricks are powerful, but in the face of the absolute power of our heaven old orcs, those things are basically not able to withstand a single blow. Come. Quote. With a loud laugh, the Bear King released a large amount of black gas from his body before a layer of grayish-black scales covered his body, making him look extremely sturdy and hard to break through. Where are you going to stab me? Come at me. Shang Wang looked at Chen Shang, his face filled with a disdainful smile. Is your heart okay? Chen Shang had already taken out his heavenly magic sword, so it was impossible for a heaven old orcs like the Bear King to see how powerful his heavenly magic sword was. This Bear King's strength was not bad either. He had reached the initial stage of the primordial divine body, and Chen Zhang's primordial divine body was only at the initial stage, so it was one stage stronger than Chen Zhang's. You want to kill me? When the Bear King heard this, he became somewhat angry. What is it? Aren't you very confident in what fish scales you have? If I am unable to pierce through them, I am willing to let you eat them. Chen Shang sneered. Seeing his expression, the Bear King was even more furious. It wanted to smash Chen Zhang's head to pieces. Good, my heart is in this place. If you have the guts, then go ahead and pierce it. With your weak strength, you are unable to shake this huge mountain of mine. The Bear King pointed to the location of his heart. Chen Kai had previously said that the most important thing for heaven old orcs was the heart, because the heart was their very foundation. The reason they were called heaven old orcs was because they had that strong beast heart of theirs. Is this it? Chen Shang was a little nervous at the moment. After he walked over, he gathered his energy and ruthlessly pierced the location of the bear's heart. The Bear King had a confident and disdainful look on his face earlier, but when he felt the sharp pain in his heart, his expression changed greatly, but it was already too late, because his powerful heart had already been pierced through. Furthermore, Chen Shang had even poured a violent surge of world-defying stage divine power into it through the heavenly magic sword, shattering the heart. After the heart was shattered, the bear fell to the ground, twitching. It was lifeless, dead. It's too easy to kill. Chen Shang looked at the heavenly magic sword in his hand that was covered in black blood. You should have seen the power of this sword, right? Haha, Chen Kai himself was extremely happy, because this was something that he had refined. Before, I did not dare to do anything to this guy, but now, he has finally died. Then what should we do next? Leave this place. Chen Shang looked at the corpse of the Bear King, then threw it into the Six Realms mirrors. Do whatever you want. Chen Kai laughed. Anyways, my biggest enemy has already been eliminated, I never thought it would be so easy. Bear King. A roar came from outside. I heard a human came to your territory. When are you going to eat him? You don't care about me at all. Quote. Chen Kai immediately frowned and said in a low voice, this is the nearby Pig King, his strength is also pretty good, do you want to go and fight him? Chapter 3091 Inches. Alright. Alright. Chen Shang only said the word good before he teleported, appearing behind the Pig King and slashed down on its head. The Wild Boar King was much taller than the Bear King, and it looked to be extremely heavy. However, when Chen Shang brandished his sword, the Wild Boar King actually dodged his attack, and at the same time let out a roar, spitting out a large wild boar tooth from its mouth that flew towards Chen Zhang's head. After Chen Shang turned his head to the side to avoid the wild boar teeth, the Wild Boar King had already rushed over with great speed. That huge palm struck over, making people feel like it was a small mountain flying over, bringing along an extremely berserk wind, lifting up a large piece of rock ground. Chen Shang only saw the Pig King swing his palm, and his body was already hit by the wave of air. After being blown away, his body was also in extreme pain from the shock of the air blast, and after being blown back, he immediately teleported away, if not he would be injured by even more berserk energy. He teleported behind the Boar King and swung his sword at the Boar King. The Pig King did not expect Chen Shang to suddenly appear behind him. He was not familiar with the power of space, but he still reacted and blocked the incoming heavenly magic sword with his palm. Chen Zhang's heavenly magic sword landed on the Pig King's giant arm, cutting it down like cutting tofu. Chen Kai, you bastard! The Wild Boar King had already smelled Chen Kai's scent and instantly cursed loudly. Then, he retreated. After a few steps, his arm was cut off so easily, which meant that his entire body could be easily broken. King of Pigs, this is all your fault. Didn't you want to eat this human? Come here. Chen Kai laughed from afar. He had already seen Chen Zhang's strength, and thought that he was stronger than expected. He thought that Chen Shang only knew how to concoct pills, he never expected that Chen Zhang's fighting skills would be so powerful too. Humans, I will destroy you. The Pig King sprinted forward angrily, like a bolt of lightning towards Chen Shang. I won't waste any more time with you. Chen Zhang's body flashed with green light, and a ray of green light flew out. The green light landed on the Boar King's body, and tied him up. After the world-defying green dragon came out, it wrapped around the Pig King under Chen Zhang's control. The Pig King immediately lost his ability to move, and at this moment, he could deeply feel how terrifying the green dragon that coiled around his body was. The green dragon was an extremely powerful world-defying beast, its aura alone was enough to make many beasts tremble. Not to mention being entangled by a green dragon now. World-defying green dragon. After Chen Kai saw this, his face was also filled with shock. He never thought that after being together with Chen Shang for so long, this was his first time seeing Chen Zhang's true strength. As a heaven old orcs, he obviously knew what a world-defying green dragon meant, and it was even controlled by Chen Shang. Humans being able to cultivate world-defying beast was very amazing. Let me go. I am a loyal subordinate of the human emperor. He won't let you go. His heart was also filled with fear. The commotion here had already stirred the heaven old orcs on both sides of the river. Chen Shang felt a group of heaven old orcs coming over, and anxiously stabbed their swords into the Pig King's heart, pouring world-defying stage divine power into the heart, destroying it. After the Pig King was killed, he hurriedly returned the corpse to the Six Realms mirrors and gave it to the toad. Let's go. Chen Shang anxiously brought Chen Kai to teleport away. Outside the myriad Dao forest, Chen Kai looked at Chen Shang in shock. The matter of the Chen Shang world-defying green dragon had already made him extremely shocked, but now, Chen Shang had actually succeeded in bringing him out. He left the myriad Dao forest, he had finally walked out, he thought he would still have to wait a long time. I'm coming out. Chen Kai laughed. I didn't expect it to be so easy. I thought you all would be restricted to staying inside. Chen Shang laughed, he had only used time and space power teleportation and successfully exited. You are too scary, that's a world-defying green dragon. When Chen Kai thought back, he could not help but feel fear. Yes, that's why I got into a lot of trouble. Chen Shang laughed bitterly, many human forces want to obtain my world-defying green dragon. Now that I have appeared, it won't be long before they come to kill me. You humans have idiots too. Don't they know how powerful world-defying green dragon are? You actually want to snatch your world-defying green dragon? Chen Kai was shocked by Chen Zhang's words again. He never thought that world-defying green dragon could snatch it away. How should I know about them? In short, when they see something they like, they feel that it's useful to themselves. If it can increase their own strength, they will snatch it away without a care in the world. Chen Shang curled his lips. Well, they'll never get your stuff, will they? Chen Kai laughed. Chen Shang was so powerful and could even use the time and space power. It would be extremely difficult to snatch his world-defying green dragon. Of course, that's why those guys suffered a lot of losses. Furthermore, it was all because of me. Chen Shang sighed. Oh right, Chen Kai, do you want to come with me to a place? When the time comes, I might need your help. Chen Kai was very strong, and very mysterious too. He wasn't afraid of the King of Pigs and the King of Bears, he knew that he was strong. Good, but I want to enter your 6 realms mirrors S&C. I heard from Xiao Ke that there are a lot of her array formations inside. Chen Kai was most interested in these things. No problem, you can go in. But don't tease the toad, it doesn't like to be disturbed from sleeping. Chen Shang took out the 6 realms mirrors and let Chen Kai in. After Chen Kai went in, Chen Shang controlled the 6 realms mirrors to contact Murong Honglian. Little Red Lotus, how is she now? Chen Shang saw Murong Honglian standing in a pavilion in a daze, and laughed as he shouted. It's okay, it's just that the bastards of He clan would come to find trouble with me from time to time. Murong Honglian scoffed, they're trying to find you through me. Yes, I'll go look for you now. Chen Shang immediately teleported to the pavilion. It had been a few years since Murong Honglian last saw Chen Shang. Now, she carefully sized him up, wanting to see if Chen Shang had any changes. Chen Shang had already cultivated the primordial divine body, and she even had a very strong heavenly magic sword. Are you ready? Murong Honglian asked. The reason Chen Shang was able to come here was very likely because he wanted to follow her into the Murong family. I'm ready. Chen Shang smiled mysteriously, let's go in now. Murong Honglian was still a little worried, and said in a low voice, you must know, it is extremely dangerous to go in. When that time comes, even if I have to put my life on the line I will not be able to save you. The strength of the ancestors inside are extremely terrifying. Do you want to notify them before you go in? Chen Shang asked. Yes, that's why they will capture you as soon as you enter. Murong Honglian hurriedly nodded. It's still not too late for you to regret it now. Chapter 3092. Of course, Chen Shang didn't regret it. All these years, he had been busy with preparations. He did not do this to help Murong Honglian, but to teach the Murong family a lesson. The Murong family's act of returning kindness to him made him angry, especially after he had saved Murong Honglian and brought him back to the Murong family. The Murong family had immediately sent people to kill him, wanting to snatch the world-defying green dragon and the myriad Dao's treasure from his body. This made him feel that the Murong family was even more hateful than the He clan. I don't regret it, I can't wait to get in. Chen Zhang's eyes were filled with anticipation, as well as killing intent. Her actions made Murong Honglian's heart jump. She had thought that Chen Shang had promised her that he would do anything to help her. She could already tell that Chen Shang really wanted to enter the Murong family. She thought back to what the Murong family had done to Chen Shang, and suddenly realized that Chen Shang always hated the Murong family. Alright, I'll bring you in now. I won't inform them. As long as you enter, they shouldn't say anything. Murong Honglian tightly held onto Chen Zhang's hand. She didn't know why, but she was actually more nervous than Chen Shang by a lot. Murong Honglian had mastered the time and space power very well, and was considered very outstanding in the Murong family. The Murong family had used the power of space very well, but only Murong Honglian and a few other ancestors had used the time and space power well. 1. Ben, read it, fiction. YBDU. Chen Shang followed Murong Honglian into the space where the Murong family was. It was like a huge city, with a very stable space. Just as they entered, they met a group of people rushing over. Chen Shang immediately saw Murong Honglian's senior, Murong Kai. Chen Shang. When Murong Kai saw Chen Shang entering with Murong Honglian, he was immediately overjoyed and shouted. Looking at him, he looked as if he had seen his long-lost family. Hello. Chen Shang laughed. Very good. Murong Kai laughed out loud, and immediately rushed up to him, took out a red iron chain and tied Chen Shang up, then released a pagoda to cover him up. Senior Master. I have already fulfilled my contract, so you can let me and master go now. Mirang Honglian bit her lips, looking at the tower that imprisoned Chen Shang. She knew how powerful it was, and her heart was filled with worry, but even more so, guilt. All right, you can leave now. Mirang Kai laughed, then waved his sleeve and released a person. It was an extremely old man with a head full of white hair. Master. When Mirang Honglian saw his master like this, he felt very grieved. Then, she looked at Mirang Kai, at the small tower in Mirang Kai's hands. Chen Shang was inside, holding onto her jade fists tightly. She wanted to rush forward and snatch the tower. Go! An aged and powerless voice suddenly appeared in Mirang Honglian's mind. It was her master's voice. Just as Mirang Honglian was about to attack, a boom resounded and the entire Mirang secret realm began to shake. We are from the He clan, hurry up and let us in. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. When Mirang Kai heard the voices coming from outside, he became terrified and immediately hid himself inside the pagoda. Mirang Honglian secretly cursed himself for not taking action in time, as he had already missed the best opportunity to save Chen Shang. Little girl Red Lotus, what's going on outside? Chen Shang suddenly said to Mirang Honglian. Chen Shang. Mirang Honglian did not expect Chen Shang to actually be able to contact her again. Are you all right? I'm sorry. Mirang Honglian apologized a few times. It's fine, I'm fine now. What's going on outside? Chen Shang shook his head and sighed when he saw the guilt written all over Mirang Honglian's face. The people from the He clan have arrived. They should be the ones that came here the most, because of you. Mirang Honglian said, they want to take you away, but I wonder if that old man from the Murong family will let you out. Then hurry up and bring your master away. It's going to be a huge mess here. Chen Shang said. Are you really okay? Mirang Honglian was still a little worried. I'm fine. On the contrary, Chen Shang felt that this tower was not that powerful. All right, I'll leave now. After Mirang Honglian brought her master away, Chen Shang was no longer able to see her through the Six Realms mirrors, which made him feel a lot more at ease. I wonder how this group of fellows will solve the problem of the He clan next. Chen Shang was very curious about what was happening outside. He closed his eyes and used the time and space power to transmit his hearing to the outside world. Mirang Kai, Chen Shang has been captured by you. The one who was charging in front was He Huang. Although he was only at world-defying holy body, he only dared to speak to the Murong family because of He clan's power. The Murong family was still afraid of the He clan, especially now that the He clan had gathered so many strong and powerful forces, otherwise He Huang would not be so presumptuous towards them. From this, He Huang could tell the Murong family's current status. No, Chen Shang is not here. Mirang Kai calmed down and said calmly, he has already left with Mirang Honglian. You guys should know that Mirang Honglian is outside, he just left not long ago. Quote. Don't lie to me, we are very clear about the grudges you two have with Chen Shang. Would you let him leave so easily? Furthermore, I know very well about the contract between you and Mirang Honglian. He Huang laughed coldly. He Huang rode on a large flying disc, on it were a few middle-aged men. These middle-aged men were all as powerful as Mirang Kai, and the person Mirang Kai was most afraid of was the yellow-haired elder. From what Mirang Kai said, he knew that the He clan had spies in the Murong family. He never thought that the Murong family would have a spy, even knowing the contract between Mirang Honglian and him, then this spy must be one of their higher-ups. Esteemed guests of the He clan have traveled here from afar. Please come inside and do it. If you have anything to say, please sit down and we can have a good talk. A friendly voice came from the sky above Murong City. Since Patriarch Murong has spoken, we can't not to give him face. Alright, let's have a good talk today. As He Huang said this, he controlled the flying discs to fly inside. It was forbidden to fly above Murong City, but he did not care about this, making the people from the Murong family angry. Mirang Kai did not follow him. Instead, he headed towards a mountain forest in the Murong secret realm and entered a cave. Ancestor, Chen Shang is inside. Mirang Kai passed the tower to an old man inside. I will use the shortest amount of time to get him to hand over the world-defying green dragon and myriad Dao divine soil. With these things, we don't need to be afraid of the He clan. The old man's skin was a waxy yellow, and his snow-white hair was in disarray. His eyes were filled with a vicious and sinister light as he looked at the small pagoda with an evil grin. Chen Shang, who was inside, already knew about the He clan coming in. He never thought that the Murong family was actually so useless, and got bullied by the He clan to such a degree. Chen Shang, are you really not afraid of being unable to leave? Feng Ka asked. She also wanted to know what method Chen Shang would use to escape this tower. What's there to be afraid of? There has never been anything that could trap me. Chen Shang smiled and said with great confidence. Chapter 3093. The little pagoda that was locked up with Chen Shang was in the hands of an ancestor of the Murong family. After the old man received the pagoda and knew that Chen Shang was really inside, he laughed happily. Little fellow, you better obediently cooperate with me. Hand over the myriad Dao's treasure first, and that treasure won't have any use for you. I'm afraid you don't even know how to use it yourself. The Murong family's ancestor laughed sinisterly. As for the world-defying green dragon, you have to give it to me. Chen Shang heard Murong Daihua's words from inside and sneered in his heart, then took out the heavenly magic sword. I will not give you the world-defying green dragon, and even if I kill myself, I will not give it to you. I know the situation your Murong family is in, and you are still waiting for my world-defying green dragon to turn the tables, right? Chen Shang laughed out loud. I am also clear about the He clan's power. If you are unable to turn the tables, you will forever be their slave. Murong Honglian, this girl must have told you. It seems that you have quite a good relationship with her. It's a pity that she betrayed you and tricked you into this place, so you ended up in our hands. Right now, you must be feeling very sad and must hate her, right? Murong Daihua chuckled. Now that you're in this tower, you won't die. Try it. Chen Shang closed his eyes and used the time and space power. Through the time and space power, he could directly see the situation outside the small pagoda in his mind. At this moment, Murong Daihua was pressing the small pagoda against his forehead, allowing him to clearly understand the situation inside the pagoda and be able to control everything inside. Not good, this guy is going to work. Chen Shang suddenly felt a fluctuation in the space. Obviously Murong Daihua's power had entered the space in the small pagoda. Chen Shang rushed over to the wall and thrusted his sword towards it. The heavenly magic sword that had been tempered by the myriad Dao divine soil were extremely sharp, and easily pierced through the wall. The long sword had already pierced through the small pagoda and pierced through Murong Daihua's forehead. Murong Daihua, who had his forehead plastered to the small tower, just now saw Chen Shang holding a sword inside, and was about to use his consciousness to take the sword away from Chen Shang, but he did not expect that Chen Shang would suddenly use his sword, and in the end he did not expect even more. The sword actually pierced through the inner wall of the small tower, directly emerging from the outside, and directly piercing into his forehead. Old man, you're too naive. Chen Shang laughed loudly, then with a loud roar, he summoned a large amount of world-defying stage divine power and channeled it through the heavenly magic sword, entering Murong Daihua's divine sense C, causing a great deal of damage. After the small pagoda was pierced, it became useless, allowing Chen Shang to teleport out of it easily. There was a bloody hole in Murong Daihua's forehead, but he did not die. He only opened his eyes, which were filled with endless hatred, and his entire body trembled with anger. You little beast, what did you do to me? Didn't you want to obtain my world-defying green dragon? Didn't you want the myriad Dao's treasure? Chen Shang grinned. This sword was created using the myriad Dao divine soil. Didn't you say before that I don't know how to use it? You want my world-defying green dragon, you are not worthy. Chen Shang snorted, and then slashed a few times at Murong Daihua, and finally pressed his hand on Murong Daihua's head. He did not plan on devouring Murong Daihua's memories, because a strong soul like Murong Daihua would find it difficult to search for memories even if he was severely injured. After he sensed the chaotic world-defying stage divine power within Murong Daihua's body, he immediately activated the devouring magic Kung Fu and directly devoured it. So powerful, as expected of a fellow with an adult world-defying stage divine body. When Chen Shang absorbed the world-defying stage divine power, his arms were supported by the waves of world-defying stage divine power as they expanded and squirmed. You will die a horrible death. Murong Daihua roared in shock. He did not think that Chen Shang would actually want to swallow him. You're the one who will die a horrible death. Chen Shang laughed. Don't tell me I have to give you the world-defying green dragon in order to die comfortably. Dream on, I'll kill you. Not only do I not need to give you the world-defying green dragon, I can still live well. Quote. You are making an enemy out of our Murong family. You will not have a good ending. Murong Daihua was extremely furious. Old man, Chen Shang fiercely slapped Murong Daihua a few times. you have to understand, it was you who made me an enemy first. I saved Murong Honglian twice. Not only were you not grateful to me, you even stole my world-defying green dragon, who offended whom first. Since you have reached this stage, it is all your doing. Your Murong family deserves it. HMPH, the world-defying green dragon would be fine if they stay on you, only in our hands would they shine. Before Murong Daihua could finish his words, all of the teeth in his mouth had already been shattered by Chen Shang. So much bullshit. We'll talk about it when you're dead. You'll have a chance to say it when you're dead. Chen Shang increased the power of his devouring and crazily devoured Divine Sense Sea World's world-defying stage divine power. Old bastard, I'll let you bully me. Now, I'll let you experience the power of the old man. Chen Shang looked at Murong Daihua's eyes that were filled with endless hatred and laughed complacently. Murong Daihua really wanted to curse Chen Shang, but he was unable to say a word. Very quickly, 2 hours had passed. Chen Shang had finally devoured most of them, and even though Murong Daihua did not die, he was still in a more miserable state than if he had died. He only had a very weak soul left to support him as Chen Shang threw him into the 6 realms mirrors. This guy has quite a lot of world-defying stage divine power. I will need a period of time to refine them. Chen Shang took a deep breath, closed his eyes and changed his appearance into Murong Daihua's. His body was currently covered with Murong Daihua's world-defying stage divine power, and the aura he was releasing was also from Murong Daihua, which coincidentally allowed him to pass off as Murong Daihua. After walking out of the cave, Chen Shang immediately saw Murong Kai. Murong Kai saw that the ancestor's face was flushed red, his eyebrows were beaming with joy, and anxiously walked over. Ancestor, you've settled Chen Shang. Of course Murong Kai did not dare to doubt this ancestor, especially the aura this ancestor was releasing right now. Although it was a bit unnatural, it was extremely powerful and made him feel a lot of pressure. What's so difficult about a mere brat? Chen Shang used Murong Daihua's voice and laughed complacently. Murong Kai felt that things were going a little too fast, and he had a better understanding of Chen Shang now. Knowing Chen Zhang's character, it would be extremely difficult for him to get Chen Shang to hand over the world-defying green dragon. How are the fellows of He Clan doing? Chen Shang asked. They are gone. When the other patriarchs heard that Chen Shang had fallen into the hands of the ancestor, they were completely at ease, so they chased them out. Now that the ancestor has obtained the world-defying green dragon, he no longer has to be afraid of the He Clan. Murong Kai laughed loudly. He Clan bastards, it's time to take care of them. Chapter 3094. Murong Kai didn't even know that the ancestor in front of him was Chen Shang pretending to be him, respectfully following behind him. Chen Shang brought him into the cave, and then closed the stone door. Ancestor, it's a bit chaotic here. What happened previously? Murong Kai asked anxiously with a concerned look. Are you injured? Chen Shang took out the small pagoda that he destroyed, passed it over to Murong Kai, and said seriously, this brat Chen Shang doesn't know, just look at how he destroyed my pagoda. Take a good look, just look at how he destroyed this pagoda. Murong Kai took it and looked inside and outside very carefully. He could not see anything, but he still looked inside very carefully. He wanted to find something, and that way he could get praise from the ancestor. You see anything? Chen Shang asked. Not at the moment, but the technique is very secretive. If I look more carefully, all I see is that crack. Murong Kai said seriously, this gap seems to come from the inside. How exactly did it come about? That's how it was done. Chen Shang summoned his heavenly magic sword and thrusted his sword towards Murong Kai like lightning, conveniently destroying Murong Kai's divine sense C. You, ancestor, why? Murong Kai's face was filled with fear. He did not understand why his ancestor would act so viciously towards him. Because I'm Chen Shang. Chen Shang changed back to his original appearance and laughed out loud. That old fellow isn't dead yet. I left his spirit fox to torture him for a period of time. I was worried that he would be too lonely, so I grabbed you to accompany him. Murong Kai had never thought that Chen Shang would actually kill off such a powerful ancestor like Murong Daihua, and even successfully impersonate Murong Daihua to trick him into coming in, distract him, and then sneak attack him, causing him to be seriously injured. Chen Shang. You. Murong Kai clenched his teeth, staring at Chen Shang. At this time he was no longer able to move, his divine sense C was already heavily injured. Go in and accompany that old bastard. Chen Shang took out Murong Kai's soul and threw it into one of the 6 realms mirrors. There was a small killing array there specially used to torture souls. He didn't have any plans to kill them yet, because if they were to die, the other ancestors of the Mu-Rong family would immediately know about it. Mu-Rong family. Sooner or later, you will all be destroyed by the He clan, but let me do it first. Whether or not you guys can escape this calamity will depend on your luck. At the same time, I want to warn He clan, that is the result of their He clan becoming enemies with me, Chen Shang. Chen Shang stood on top of a tall mountain and released a powerful aura. After the few patriarchs in the Mu-Rong family sensed this, they all came one by one. Diwa, what are you doing? Did you get the world-defying green dragon? Chen Shang looked at the two elders and said sternly, you two stay far away from here, I want to try and see if I can release the world-defying green dragon. If the world-defying green dragon loses control at that time, you two better not hurt it too, it is our trump card to deal with the He clan. Alright, let's leave this place immediately. The few old men were all very excited because the world-defying green dragon was already in their hands. If they really had control over it, they did not have to be afraid of the He clan. Moreover, they would also be the strongest within the world-defying stage clan. After Chen Shang tricked them until they left, he couldn't help but laugh out loud and release the world-defying green dragon. The world-defying green dragon came out from the huge square boulder inside the Six Realms mirrors and became red all over, with raging flames and a pair of gigantic Suzaku fire wings. Red Fire Dragon. When Chen Shang saw that the red fire dragon was much larger than before, he was extremely happy. At this moment, the entire sky above Murong City was covered by the body of this huge dragon. The red fire dragon's body released wave after wave of scorching aura. As the dragon's body trembled, scorching waves of air pressed down from the skies, causing a sea of fire to envelop the entire city. In the blink of an eye, the ancient Murong City was enveloped in flames. When the people in the city saw that something was wrong, they immediately ran away. When the other elders saw how powerful the red fire dragon was, they became excited and began to leave the Mu-Rong family. It's starting. Chen Shang was overjoyed. After that, he controlled the red fire dragon to land on the ground and churn about. In an instant, it was rolled up into a pile of ruins and burned in the sea of flames. Roar, roar, roar. The red fire dragon roared continuously as it spat out huge balls of fire and lightning, like countless falling stars, that covered the forest around Murong City. When these balls of fire and lightning landed, they would create a gigantic sky crater. Doer, this place is about to be destroyed. Can you control this dragon? Quote. I can do it, you guys go out first. Chen Shang could already feel the killing intent from the elders who suddenly rushed over. They did not want to kill the red fire dragon, but rather, wanted to kill him. I don't think you can control it at all. Right now, this is all you can do. An old man's face suddenly became gloomy and cold. He slashed at Chen Shang, his speed extremely fast, no one expected him to strike so suddenly. After Chen Shang sensed the killing intent, he was already prepared for it and hastily dodged to the side, then teleported to the top of the red fire dragon's head. You guys actually want to kill me, that's fine. Chen Shang roared, controlling the red fire dragon to shoot lightning towards the few patriarchs. Although red fire dragon were powerful, the strength of those ancestors were not weak. They were actually able to fend off the streaks of lightning. These guys are still very strong. For the time being, I can't beat them. Chen Shang took a quick look inside the Murong secret realm and realized that only a small part of it had been destroyed. Two hacks, it's your turn to come out. Try your best to help me keep those guys busy. Chen Shang released Chen Kai. When Chen Kai came out, he immediately looked at the cultivation levels of the elders, and then nodded, leave it to me. The sudden appearance of someone who was also very powerful shocked the ancestors. After Chen Kai went over, he immediately controlled the red fire dragon and had it release a crazy destructive force that completely destroyed everything inside the Murong secret realm. Ru. The destructive power of red fire dragon was extremely strong. Many people felt despair after seeing it, and they all escaped from the Murong secret realm. Spatial rifts also appeared in the sky above the Murong secret realm. Mu-Rong family, you guys are done for. Chen Shang allowed the red fire dragon to release its strongest energy and tore the entire Murong secret realm apart. Chen Kai too, was almost done. Let's go. Chen Shang hurriedly teleported Chen Kai back to his body, then teleported out of the Murong secret realm. When he came outside, other than the large group of disciples from the Mu-Rong family, he also saw a huge flying discs in the distance. On top of the discs, stood He Huang, an ancestor of the He clan. Chapter 3095. The people from the He clan had originally left the Murong secret realm. However, not long after they left, they sensed an extremely strong aura of a world-defying green dragon. When they came over, they had already known about the chaos within the Morong secret realm. It's Morong Daihua, this guy already obtained the world-defying green dragon. Behind He Huang, the patriarch of He clan, He Zihao frowned, he's coming over. Chen Shang teleported in front of them. What, you want to give us the world-defying green dragon? We already know that you are unable to control the world-defying green dragon. He Huang said with a beaming smile. I can control the world-defying green dragon, so I won't give it to you. And I still need to. Chen Shang immediately let Chen Kai out. When Chen Kai came out, he immediately attacked He Zihao fiercely. He Huang turned pale with fright. He Zihao had never expected that the Murong family would dare to attack them. He Zihao was only pushed to the side by Chen Kai in an instant, while Chen Shang released the power of spatial imprisonment to lock He Huang, who was trying to escape. He Huang, you probably don't know who I am. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to He Huang, and He Huang looked at the old man in front of him. The voice that appeared in his mind was a voice that he was very familiar with, it was Chen Zhang's voice. You are. He Huang suddenly understood everything. Chen Shang had snuck into the Murong family and even impersonated Morong Daihua, which meant that Morong Daihua had already been killed by Chen Shang. Do you still remember me? Unfortunately, I cannot give it to you, but I can let you see my world-defying green dragon before you die. Quote. As he finished speaking, Chen Shang released a very small world-defying green dragon that penetrated He Huang's body like lightning and entered He Huang's divine sense sea. Then, it exploded inside the divine sense sea, turning into a gigantic world-defying green dragon that directly bursted He Huang's divine sense sea and body. Seeing the world-defying green dragon suddenly appear, He Huang's body exploded. He Jihao's heart was filled with rage, he shouted, and attacked Chen Kai with all his might, but just as he was about to use his strength, Chen Shang took Chen Kai away and teleported away, returning back to the myriad Dao forest. You have offended quite a few powerful fellows in an instant. Chen Kai laughed, but because of you, I also have the chance to meet human experts. They are all very powerful, especially that old fellow just now, he was too terrifying when he attacked. There are a lot of people like him. What you see is just the tip of the iceberg. Chen Shang laughed bitterly, it's these guys who wanted to obtain my world-defying green dragon, I don't have the strength to deal with them yet. If we had teamed up just now, we might have been able to kill that guy. Chen Kai was referring to He Zihao. Chen Shang shook his head, no, you don't know that the old guys from the Murong family are hiding somewhere. If we were to fight with the old monsters from He clan, they would definitely sneak and attack us. The ancestor of the Murong family had long followed him out, but when he saw the people from the He clan, they did not follow. They hid at the side and watched, and when they saw how He Huang was killed, they trembled in fear as well. If they wanted to repair it again, they would need a lot of time. Now that they had suffered heavy losses, they did not know what to do next. Chen Shang took out his 6 realms mirrors and looked at Morong Honglian. Little Red Lotus, how are you two doing? Chen Shang asked. All right, you're out now. When Morong Honglian heard her voice, he was immediately overjoyed. Only Chen Shang could see her in the same world as her, which meant that Chen Shang had come out. Yes, the entire Morong secret realm has been destroyed by me, I'll go look for you right now. Chen Shang teleported over with Chen Kai. Morong Honglian and her master were hiding in a cave. At this moment, her master seemed to be reaching the end of his lifespan and could die at any moment. This is my master, Morong Tianqing. Morong Honglian looked at her master and bit her lower lip. She knew very well that her master wouldn't be gone for long. Junior Chen Shang. Chen Shang immediately bowed to Morong Tianqing. Chen Kai. Chen Kai introduced himself. There's no need to be so polite. Morong Tianqing laughed, what a powerful young man, the Murong family is about to be destroyed. I'm sorry, I've destroyed your Murong family. Chen Shang said somewhat embarrassedly. After we left the Murong family, we were no longer members of their family. Morong Tianqing let out a long sigh, the ancestors of the Murong family were more selfish than the rest, I only noticed later on that day. If I knew earlier, I wouldn't have gone all out to help them develop. Chen Shang had truly experienced it before. At the critical moment, these ancestors were actually jealous of Morong Daihua for obtaining the world-defying green dragon and wanted to kill him to snatch it. Senior, I heard you are an alchemist, I coincidentally am also from Alchemist. With your current condition, you should be able to use pills to alleviate it, right? Looked at Murong Tianqing's situation, and it was mainly because the world-defying stage divine power was no longer present. To the world-defying stage divine power was the source of life, and the reason Murong Tianqing was able to live for that long was all because of the remnant world-defying stage divine power in his body. If you want to extend your life, you can't use someone else's world-defying stage divine power. Right now, the bridge to the world-defying stage divine power is broken, causing the world-defying stage divine power to be unable to be transported out. This requires refining a type of divine stage everlasting pellet, and right now I don't have the ability to refine any more, Murong Tianqing sighed. I'll try, Chen Shang said. It was rare for him to meet an alchemist, so he definitely had to learn from them. Let me take a look at your current world-defying god fire. Murong Tianqing saw Chen Zhang's serious face and asked. Chen Shang immediately released the world-defying god fire. When Chen Kai saw it, he is only at the initial stage of the divine body, but the world-defying god fire is close to mastery. Generally speaking, only the peak of world-defying god fire can be refined, but you can try. Murong Tianqing said, within the world-defying stage clan, there aren't many alchemists who know how to refine pills. Even though there are quite a few alchemists from other families, none of them are able to refine this kind of pill, and none of them are willing to refine for me. Only the 2 alchemists of the He clan can be refined, but they definitely cannot be refined for me. Quote. In order to give Murong Tianqing enough confidence, Chen Shang took out the world-defying heavenly Dan he had refined himself, and said, this is what I refined. I relied on this pill to cultivate my primordial divine body. World-defying heavenly Dan. When Murong Tianqing saw it, he was surprised to be able to recognize it. He thought that not many people would know of this pill. Yes, senior, you also know how to refine. Chen Shang felt that world-defying heavenly Dans were extremely hard to refine as well. He had to spend a great amount of time to finally figure out the method to refine them. Exclamation mark. Chapter 3096. Murong Tianqing and Murong Honglian both recognized the world-defying heavenly Dan, especially Murong Honglian. She was staring at the world-defying heavenly Dan in Chen Zhang's palm like a wooden chicken. I don't understand. Because it was extremely difficult to refine, I used to have medicinal ingredients, but after I tried them all, I ended up failing. Murong Tianqing saw that Chen Shang could refine world-defying heavenly Dan, but he was also pleasantly surprised and full of hope. This was because Chen Shang was able to refine pills for him, allowing him to recover. This was something that had been bothering him for many years. He had the medicinal ingredients, but he was unable to refine them himself, and no one helped him refine them. That was why he was able to drag things out until now. This is the medicinal herb. Murong Tianqing immediately took out a green jade box and handed it over to Murong Honglian, telling him to pass it to him. After Chen Shang opened it, a burst of cold air rushed out. All the medicinal ingredients had been frozen, just to keep it fresh. The box had also been specially made. Is the medicinal herb still fresh? Murong Tianqing asked. Not too bad, not too bad. Chen Shang looked at it, then nodded. Are these just the medicinal ingredients? There were only 2 types of herbs in the box, 2 pieces of bamboo, one golden and one red, only as thin as a finger. Yes, this is called the crimson gold bamboo. This type of bamboo grows from a piece of red to a piece of gold for 100,000 years. I handled both sections well. Murong Tianqing said, you can just directly refine it. You are able to refine a pill as hard as this world-defying heavenly Dan, you should be able to refine something like this. What pill is this? Chen Shang asked. He was also very interested in this unfamiliar pill. The primordial meridian pill is mainly used to repair severely damaged Dao veins. My Dao meridians are severely damaged, so I am unable to draw out the world-defying stage divine power. As long as I consume this pill, I can repair broken Dao veins. Murong Tianqing slowly stood up and said, I have never refined this kind of pellet before, so I am not sure what problems I will encounter during the refining. Chen Shang nodded. He had placed all his hopes on him now. Chen Shang, you have to succeed. Murong Honglian pulled Chen Zhang's hand. My master looks after me very well. I'll definitely succeed. I'll start right now. Chen Shang looked at the stone room over there, and said, I'll start inside. Murong Honglian immediately brought Chen Shang into the secret room. When Chen Shang was at the door, he turned and instructed Chen Kai, telling him to be more alert. Chen Kai was still quite strong, if not he would not have been able to fend off the few ancestors all by himself. Although he could only hold on for a short period of time, it was already not bad. After Chen Shang entered the secret room, he immediately released a time domain to cover the two sections of the pillar, and then used the triple time field to increase his speed. Sijing, how long do you think it will take for the seed to grow? Senior Murong seems to only have this kind of medicinal herb. Chen Shang said, I need to get a backup. Chen Shang felt that he would definitely succeed, and he did so just in case. At the same time, he felt that this pillar was not bad, and wanted to plant it inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa. About 10 days. What Zhang Sijing said was the normal time. Alright, in the following 10 days, Chen Shang did not refine pills, but instead, wholeheartedly planted this golden red mysterious bamboo. Just as Zhang Sijing had predicted, a section had been planted within the span of 10 days. He immediately cut off the two pieces of bamboo that had just grown, and threw them into the Tianchuang furnace to refine. The refining process was still very easy, especially when compared to the world-defying Heavenly Dan. At the very least, it was not like how world-defying Heavenly Dan had so many steps. Using a familiar technique, he was able to successfully refine the two pieces of bamboo and fuse them together. Don't we need to use the derivation technique? Seeing that Chen Shang was about to start concocting pills, Feng Ka asked. I don't think so. This pill isn't used to increase one's cultivation. Therefore, no matter how high the quality is, it won't be of much use. Chen Shang said. That might not be the case. He used it to repair his meridians. If the quality is high, then it might be faster. Feng Ka said. Alright then, I'll use the derivation method to train. After using the derivation method, Chen Shang finally understood that this golden red mysterious bamboo was somewhat different. Is this even a divine medicine that can make people proud of themselves? Chen Shang felt this was a little unbelievable. At this moment, there were more than 10 small crystals that had just sprouted out of his furnace. These were all easily produced by him. Why is this happening? Feng Ka had seen Chen Shang refine quite a few pills before. When he used the derivation method, it was extremely difficult to produce the little crystal balls. Forget it, let's just focus on condensing the pill first. Chen Shang said, then let Feng Ka condense the pellet. During the process of condensing the core, a situation had occurred. Feng Ka's progress was extremely difficult. If I can't suppress it, what should I do? Just by trying it, Feng Ka already felt that it was extremely difficult. That's the only way. Chen Shang divided the lump of crystals into 3 parts and let Feng Ka start to condense the pellets. Only after being divided into 3 groups could Feng Ka proceed with the condensing of the core, but it was also very slow. So difficult. After Feng Ka suppressed them for a month, when he finally managed to calm them down a little, he was surprised. Previously, he thought that they had been very successful, but who would have known that it would be so difficult to refine them in the end? If I had known this would happen, I would not have used the derivation method. Even if I don't use the derivation method, the process of condensing a pill will be very difficult. Chen Shang was also in the process of condensing his pill and he had already used the power of time. This could help them shorten the time gap with the outside world. Very quickly, a year had passed and the 3 pellets were already successfully refined. This made Chen Shang and Feng Ka heave a sigh of relief. The process of refining the pellets before also only took a little less than half a day, but in the end, it took a whole year to condense the pellets. Alright, let's eat one and see. Feng Ka said to Chen Shang, this kind of primordial vein divine pill might be useful to you as well. Chen Shang also wanted to try it, so he immediately ate one. After the primordial spirit pellet melted in his body, it turned into a surge of energy that rushed into his divine sense sea. After that, he only saw a black belt of light appearing in his divine sense sea, hanging by his hammer, connecting the sky and the earth of his divine sense sea. What is this? After consuming that pellet, such a strange thing actually happened. He told Feng Ka about this matter. Feng Ka didn't know what this was either, so she said, go out and let Senior Murong have a look, maybe he'll know. Chen Shang used the power of time, so he only used around 10 days to finish refining it. When he came out of the stone room, Murong Tianqing was surprised. Failed. Murong Tianqing felt that it would take at least a year or so to refine this pill, but it had only been 10 days. How could I fail? Chen Shang laughed, then took out a proud vein divine pill and tossed it over. Chapter 3097. When Murong Tianqing received the proud vein divine pill, he was instantly stunned, and only after a long time did he look at the proud vain divine pill in his hand. It really is the proud vain divine pill. Murong Tianqing took a deep breath, and said, isn't this way too fast? This is a divine level primordial pellet, it's not easy to refine. It is indeed difficult to forge. Laughed bitterly, he used an entire year to condense the pellet, and it was extremely difficult to condense one at that. Both he and Feng Ke had been using all their strength to condense the pellet all the time. Master, he knows how to use the power of time. He probably took 1 or 2 years. Outside the stone room, Murong Honglian could feel the sound waves that contained the power of time. Murong Honglian also knew about the power of time, but he did not know how much she had grasped. In short, she was extremely sensitive to this power, so she could sense it. So that's how it is. Even though it took me 1 to 2 years, it was still quite fast. The look in Murong Tianqing's eyes revealed respect. He felt that Chen Zhang's pill refining level was above his. Senior, quickly eat it. Chen Shang smiled humbly. After Murong Tianqing ate it, he could feel a strong medicinal power and was slightly shocked in his heart. This was because the effects of the medicine were much stronger than he had guessed before. But the effect now was far greater than he had expected. It had only been an hour since Murong Tianqing had consumed the primordial profound orb, and his pale white face had already turned red. His body also had a trace of life force, allowing others to feel the aura of his world-defying stage divine power. It seemed like he had successfully repaired his Tao channels. Senior, I refined a total of 3 pills in a single pill. Earlier, I also consumed 1, but a black thing appeared in my divine sense C. I don't know what it is. Chen Shang said, the space between the heavens and the earth of my divine sense C world is connected to this black belt of light. When Murong Tianqing found out that Chen Shang had not only refined 1 pill, his heart was shocked. The pill refining strength of Chen Shang far exceeded his imagination, and what made him even more surprised was what Chen Shang had said was the situation in divine sense C. Are you sure? Murong Tianqing said, is there really a black thing inside your divine sense C? Chen Shang nodded his head, yes, why do I have to do this and not leave? Moreover, there isn't any reaction, and there isn't any aura. What exactly is this thing that has appeared in my divine sense C, and it's so long, too annoying? Murong Tianqing took a deep breath before speaking, you might not know this black thing is called the Heavenly Passage Channel. Quote, Heavenly Meridian. Murong Honglian also did not know about this, so she looked at Chen Kai, only to see Chen Kai shaking his head. Yes, a Heavenly Meridian is a very rare Tao vein. The ordinary Tao vein is ultimately connected to the myriad Tao, and the Heavenly Meridian is connected to the myriad Tao. It is able to directly absorb the power above the myriad Tao. Murong Tianqing said, this is also a state that many experts at the peak of world-defying stage pursue. Only when you have reached this realm can you train without worries, and absorb the power from above. What power does the myriad Tao possess? Chen Shang never thought that he would actually be able to cultivate such a strange heaven-opening meridian after consuming the primordial meridian pill. I don't know either. Murong Tianqing shook his head. I only heard about it because there aren't many people who possess an invigorated meridian, I have never seen them before. Chen Kai said, the strongest above myriad Tao should be the world-defying stage fierce power. World-defying stage fierce power. Chen Shang closed his eyes. He wanted to try and see if he could absorb it, but he did not. Yes, this is the strongest power that exists above the myriad Tao. However, it's not good to absorb it. Chen Kai said, as for how to obtain it, I'm not sure. I just know that. Chen Kai knew a little about the matters above myriad Tao, so he knew what kind of power was above. It's definitely going to be of great use. It's just that I'm currently unable to use it. Murong Tianqing said. At this point in time, he had already become very spirited, and this was also because of the pill's power, which was why he was able to recover so quickly after consuming it. Chen Shang nodded. Senior, are you feeling better now? Murong Tianqing laughed, and nodded, it's much better now, this should let me live for another tens of thousands of years, thank you. You're welcome. In this situation, we should be helping each other. Chen Shang smiled. Those fellows from the Murong family are idiots. You are a good person, but they have repaid their debt to you. Otherwise, this would not have happened. Murong Honglian thought about how the Murong family treated Chen Shang in such a way, and he felt very angry in his heart, even though the Murong family was already destroyed. It's all in the past. Chen Shang laughed. Right now, all we need to do is to guard against the He clan a little. There's also the Heaven Old Orcs. Chen Kai added. Hearing about Heaven Old Orcs, Chen Zhang's face darkened. This was a huge threat. These few days, Chen Kai had also told Murong Honglian and Murong Tianqing about the appearance of the Heaven Old Orcs. Now, when they heard these 4 words, they couldn't be happy anymore. Seems like I have to quickly understand the world-defying stage fierce power. Right now, they were all from the world-defying stage. If they could use the world-defying stage divine power well, it would be strong enough. But the world-defying stage fierce power looked much stronger than the world-defying stage divine power. The reason why Heaven Old Orcs is so powerful is because they have mastered a few world-defying stage fierce power. Chen Kai continued, now if you want to control the world-defying stage fierce power, your body needs to be strengthened, and Heaven Old Orcs' body is innately able to contain this kind of berserk energy. Murong Tianqing hastily took out a wooden box and handed it over to Chen Shang. Chen Shang, inside is the heavenly god's heart fruit. If you can refine this into a pill, eating it will definitely be of great help to your body. Oh, Chen Shang took the heavenly source spirit heart fruit and examined it. It was extremely beautiful, like a transparent crystal heart. Furthermore, there was a faint white light inside the crystal heart. Chen Kai told us before, that the main reason the Heaven Old Orcs were strong was because they had a very strong beast heart. Murong Tianqing looked at Chen Kai and continued, the hearts of the Heaven Old Orcs are strong, so their bodies are very terrifying. It should be able to help you cultivate a powerful heart. Quote. Chen Shang nodded his head, I will try. The god's heart fruit looked very fragile. If one pressed it with their finger, it would feel like it was being crushed. And this kind of fruit could make a person's heart grow stronger. It was rather strange. After Chen Shang received it, he immediately wanted to refine it, because the thing that made him most curious was the world-defying stage fierce power. The heavenly passage channel had appeared within the divine sense sea, but right now, he was not qualified enough to absorb the world-defying stage fierce power for cultivation. Chapter 3098. Chen Shang anxiously rushed into the stone room. Just as he opened the door, Murong Honglian anxiously shouted, there are a lot of people approaching. Who are they? Chen Shang asked quickly. He clans. As for the Mu Rong family and the other families, they should all have pledged their allegiance to He clan. Murong Honglian anxiously said, we need to quickly leave this man. Go outside Myriad Dao Forest. Chen Kai shouted, Heaven Old Orcs will soon be breaking through that barrier. When that time comes, hee. Chen Zhang's eyes lit up, and then, he took out the 6 realms mirrors, allowing everyone to board the 6 realms mirrors. After that, he used the time and space power to bring everyone out of the Myriad Dao Forest. They should have come here by sensing your world-defying green dragon. Murong Honglian said, I wonder if they found out that you pretended to be Murong Daihua. Previously, Chen Shang had caused a ruckus in the Murong secret realm by impersonating Murong Daihua. The people from the Mu Rong family definitely did not suspect anything, because these ancestors were very clear that they had done something to Murong Daihua first. After I killed He Huang, the He clan would definitely be very angry, and using their secret technique, they would be able to detect the aura of the world-defying green dragon, and then they would be able to track us down. This surprised Chen Shang. The ancestors of the Mu Rong family hated He clan to the core. There's nothing to be surprised about. These guys were like this in the first place. The Murong secret realm was already destroyed, they had nowhere to go, and He Huang died inside the Murong secret realm. If they do not submit to the He clan, their fate would not be good. Murong Tianqing looked deep into the Myriad Dao Forest, and said with a frown, back then, it was precisely when I entered, and my Dao veins were cut off. It's really an extremely painful punishment. We world-defying stage clan are like this, we will be trapped by the Myriad Dao's power for our entire lives. Murong Tianqing sighed, even though we were born with great power, our ending isn't so good. Don't you have eternal life? Chen Shang said. That's right, but after living like this for a long time, we'll be tired of living and want to go to a higher place to have a look. However, we've been restricted, and we're unwilling to commit suicide. We can only live in boredom. Murong Tianqing shook his head and sighed. The reason I entered this place was to see if I can find the strength to shake off the Myriad Dao. To get rid of the power of the Myriad Dao is to create the world-defying stage fierce power, because this kind of power is not nurtured in the Myriad Dao. Chen Kai said, all of the energy in your body comes from the Myriad Dao, so it will be driven by the Myriad Dao. If it was the world-defying stage fierce power, then you wouldn't have such concerns. Murong Tianqing nodded. He didn't know that Chen Kai was heaven old orcs, he only knew that he was Chen Zhang's friend. They haven't come yet. Chen Shang looked at the barrier, and frowned. What exactly happened here? Isn't the heaven old orcs something that can only be broken after a period of time? Quote. Chen Shang looked at Chen Kai, as if he had suddenly realized the truth. This myriad Dao forest already contained a large amount of world-defying stage fierce power, and only these heaven old orcs could sense and absorb it. Today, they must have found the source of the world-defying stage fierce power, and after absorbing a large amount, they will have sufficient strength to break open the barrier that is restricting them. Chen Kai frowned as he looked at the sky above the myriad Dao forest. It should be the human emperor gathering all of the heaven old orcs' power there and starting to break through. Chen Kai said. He could sense that there was a voice calling him, but he did not go over. Chen Kai was the heaven old orcs, he knew the situation inside, and he could hear the human emperor calling him, so he knew that the barrier around the myriad Dao forest would not hold much longer. When the heaven old orcs comes out, he will definitely fight with the world-defying stage clan, and at that time, the divine wasteland will also fall. More and more black fog appeared inside the myriad Dao forest. In just a short 2 hours, the entire myriad Dao forest was covered by the black fog. Strong gales erupted within the thick black mist. The dense fog churned and produced purple and red lightning bolts. The lightning bolts flashed densely within the black mist. It was as though a monster was roaring. It was extremely terrifying. The fellow from world-defying stage clan is here. After Murong Honglian sensed them through the domain, he anxiously said. Red Lotus, you and your master should go first. Chen Kai and I will take care of it here. Is that a problem? Murong Honglian wanted to stay, but she thought that if she was not strong enough, she could not help Chen Shang. No problem, Chen Shang said, I can handle it, I'll come find you guys after a while. Although Murong Tianqing had recovered quite a bit, he had not fully recovered, and did not have much strength. Then I'll take my leave first. Murong Tianqing said. In the future, all of you must be careful of He clan and the rest. Chen Shang nodded, and then changed into Murong Daihua's appearance. Murong Honglian left with Murong Tianqing, and the people from the He clan arrived quickly. There were a lot of people in world-defying stage clan, especially the few dozen elders in front, they were all extremely powerful ancestor. When Chen Shang saw that they had arrived, he anxiously brought Chen Kai and entered the myriad Dao forest. When the people of the world-defying stage clan arrived and saw the strange scene inside the myriad Dao forest, all of their faces turned serious. If you are not Murong Daihua, then who exactly are you? Someone from the world-defying stage clan who is not allowed to enter. An old man from the Murong family roared. Only then did they realize that someone was pretending to be Murong Daihua, and had messed up their Murong family. You're not stupid, Chen Shang laughed, then changed back to his own appearance. He did not expect that he would be seen through so quickly. Seeing Chen Zhang's face, the Murong family members became even more furious, they immediately understood many things. Now, they finally understood that it was a huge mistake to let Murong Honglian get Chen Shang in here, and they also understood why Murong Honglian tricked Chen Shang into here so easily. It really is you, the ancestor of the He clan said angrily. If you have the guts, come out from inside the myriad Dao forest and take out the courage you had inside the Murong secret realm. If there were only a few old turtles like you, I wouldn't be afraid. But right now, there are just too many of them. I'm really a bit afraid. Chen Shang laughed out loud. Of course, no matter how many little turtles there are, I am not afraid. If you guys do not attack, I can kill all the little turtles behind you in an instant. The situation in the myriad Dao forest is not right, we should leave first, so as to not let the gains not make up for the losses. An old man said softly. At the moment, the myriad Dao forest was trembling, and waves of beast roars came out, it was truly terrifying. No, Chen Shang is right in front of us, we must take him down, he is getting stronger and stronger, especially the world-defying green dragon. If we can't take him down earlier, even if we get the myriad Dao's help, we will still die in the end. The patriarch of the He clan said in a deep voice, think of a way to get him out. People from the Murong family, aren't you guys just people who understand the power of space? Hurry up and get him out. Chapter 3099. Some of them could even use time and space power but because the Murong family had always been pursuing benefits, their development had become problematic. The reason why they could develop so quickly was because of Murong Tianqing. However, after Murong Tianqing was heavily injured, they gave up on him because they felt that they had to pay a huge price to cure him. Now, the reason why the Murong family had fallen into such a predicament was because of their ancestors who were in charge of the Murong family. The people of the He clan asked them to use the power of space to get Chen Shang out at this moment, but they were a little unwilling because the tone of the He clan was very bad. Didn't you already submit to our He clan? What, are you disobedient now? An old man from the He clan sneered. Hurry up, wait for Chen Shang to escape, you guys will have it easy. The people of the Murong family were furious, because right now, they were like slaves in the eyes of He clan. The people of He clan did not plan to treat them nicely. Alright, let's begin now. If they angered He clan, their fates would be even worse, because He clan blamed He Huang's death on them. What are they going to do? Chen Shang only saw them discussing something from afar. He did not hear anything, but seeing how the faces of the Murong family's old ancestors were tensed up, he felt that something was amiss. This is bad. Suddenly, Chen Shang felt a fluctuation of energy in the space around him. He was shocked, wanting to escape from the energy of the space. However, even with the time and space power, he was unable to successfully escape. Chen Shang, come out. One of the ancestor of the Murong family roared. The reason their Murong family had such an ending was all because of Chen Shang. They hated him so much. A few of the Murong family's ancestors successfully teleported Chen Shang out. When Chen Shang was kicked out of the Myriad Dao forest, he was extremely shocked and terrified. What made him worried was that the space he was in was still sealed by the powerful time and space power of the Murong family's ancestor. These ancestors' cultivation level was originally much higher than his, but now that he was trapped inside, he was unable to use his own time and space power to leave. Shao Ka! Chen Shang anxiously shouted. Feng Ka immediately released the Six Realms mirrors and it appeared under Chen Zhang's feet. It exploded into a ray of white light and enveloped Chen Shang, and at the same time, the people from the He clan also began to make their moves, especially the ancestors. The people from the He clan did not dare to get closer. They gathered their powerful world-defying stage divine power into a ball of light and shot it towards Chen Zhang's energy shield. The Six Realms mirrors had carved an array inside it, so the energy shield was able to protect Chen Shang while absorbing the energy from other people's attacks. Chen Kai can't get out of Myriad Dao Forest. This is troublesome. Do I need to release the red fire dragon? Chen Shang clenched his teeth. Looking at the protective shield released by the Six Realms mirrors, he felt that it would not last long. Don't let them go for now. Their ancestors are also powerful, and if you let them attack you together, they will probably suppress you. Feng Ka also felt that the situation was extremely serious, but she remained calm. Continue to wait. I think I can hold on for a little longer. There is a very strong space-time domain here, and should be released by the ancestors of the Murong family. They are currently using all their might to release their time and space power, just to trap them here. Quote. Chen Shang looked at the few ancestors of the Murong family and grinded his teeth in his heart. This bunch of old bastards, I will kill them sooner or later, there isn't much I can do about it now. If the other party was an ordinary divine rank world-defying stage, he would dare to release the red fire dragon, but there are many patriarchs of the world-defying stage clan here today. Once the red fire dragon is released, they will definitely receive serious injuries from their combined attack. This guy's divine artifact is really scary. It can actually block our many attacks. Should we go closer and use divine weapons to attack him? Do not go near him. This guy is very strange and we have to slowly deplete his energy bit by bit. He definitely needs a lot of power to use that divine tool to protect himself. As long as we drag it out, they will collapse sooner or later. You bastards! Chen Shang took out the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor seal and injected its power into it, then he pushed it towards the group of ancestors. He released the power of the world-defying beast and formed a seal made from red fire dragon, which he sent towards them. The red fire dragon roared and rushed forward, scattering all the world-defying stage divine powers that were coming at them. The patriarchs of the world-defying stage clan were powerful indeed. When they saw the dragon seal seat, they immediately attacked together and destroyed it in an instant. Chen Shang, you have to hold on. Chen Kai was also very anxious inside because he could not come out. He was the Heaven Old Orcs, and he would not be able to come out without Chen Shang. Ru. The group of ancestors attacked consecutively, but it seemed as if they were not tired at all as they crazily attacked Chen Shang, wanting to break his protective shield or exhaust all of his strength. They had adopted a very conservative approach, because they already knew that Chen Shang being able to kill Murong Daihua meant that Chen Shang already had the strength to defeat warriors of their level, so they didn't dare to get too close. Chen Shang was extremely furious. Being surrounded and attacked by this group of old fellows, he could only be forced to defend, unable to retaliate at all. One day, I will make you all die under our red fire dragon. Chen Shang roared in his heart. The current situation was completely forced out of him by the world-defying stage clan. Bang! A series of muffled sounds came from behind him, a burst of berserk barrier energy surged over. This caused Chen Shang to be extremely happy, because the mysterious barrier that sealed the myriad Dao forest had already been broken. Roar! The roar of a beast shook the earth as it came crashing over. The black fog that had previously covered the area had already swept over, enveloping everyone within. Hurry up! One of the ancestors shouted in shock. The aura of the countless heaven-old orcs had already scared them stiff. They could not care less about dealing with Chen Shang, because if they did not leave now, they would not have the chance to. None of them expected that the myriad Dao forest was hiding such a terrifying power. The He clan knew that there were very strong people inside, but their kind of gold-robed slave in purple costume was not many. Furthermore, once they met one of them, they would be eaten. Chapter 3100. Although the people of the world-defying stage clan were blessed with limitless lifespan by the myriad Dao, it did not mean that they were invincible. If they met an existence stronger than them, they could still kill them. Thus, when they felt the powerful aura of the heaven-old orcs, their first reaction was to escape, otherwise, most of them would have died here. Chen Kai, where are you? Chen Shang shouted loudly. Chen Kai had already disappeared, and he did not notice it earlier. What's wrong with this guy? Chen Shang closed his eyes to feel for it, to see if he could sense Chen Kai, but he did not. Forget about him, let's go first. He might already have left, he has many enemies in the myriad Dao forest. Feng Ka said, we'll find him in the future. Chen Shang did not care, because the heaven-old orcs was already approaching. If he did not leave, once the heaven-old orcs arrived here, he would be in danger. Let's go. Chen Shang used the time and space power and was about to teleport away. He successfully teleported, but after he teleported successfully, he appeared in a place that he did not wish to reach. This is bad. His face changed dramatically. Normally, when he encountered this sort of situation, the spatial passageway would be teleported away by someone. Anyone with this sort of ability would be very powerful. He looked around, only to find that he was right inside the myriad Dao forest. Human brat, you can use the time and space power, not bad. As long as I eat you, my time and space power will definitely grow stronger, and then I can leave this damned place, haha. After Chen Shang heard the sinister laughter, he immediately used teleportation. This time was just like last time, he had successfully teleported, but he was still at the same place. To be able to do this, it was much more powerful than a confined space. Who are you? Chen Shang shouted coldly, come out. He was sure that this was a heaven-old orcs, because heaven-old orcs love to eat people. I've come out, so what? Do you think you can escape from my palm? A very tall black-haired man suddenly appeared in front of Chen Shang. This man had 2 horns on his head and was wearing a furry fur coat. His eyes were as big as a cow's eye, making him look like a cow. Chen Shang snorted, took out his 6 realms mirrors and climbed onto it, then had Feng Ka release a sealing force that prevented the other party from controlling space. Torin, don't be so arrogant. A rude guy like you is always so arrogant. Chen Shang said with a cold smile, then rode his 6 realms mirrors and flew forward, and disappeared in an instant. I'd like to see what tricks you can pull. When the ox-head man heard Chen Zhang's words, he became extremely angry. He wanted to use the time and space power to bring Chen Shang back, but he discovered that his own time and space power was useless against Chen Shang. Chen Shang had met someone who was able to use time and space power, and was even stronger than him, so he chose not to use time and space power. This way, he could avoid being controlled by the opponent. You're a bit capable, but I have to eat you even more. The ox-head man teleported to catch up with Chen Shang, and quickly appeared in the sky above Chen Shang. Chen Shang fiercely sped up, avoided the black ball of light with great danger, and then continued his journey. He didn't know what was ahead of him. In short, he was still inside the myriad Dao forest, as long as he didn't encounter the heaven-old orcs. The ox-head man continued to teleport and follow Chen Shang. He could only teleport to catch up with Chen Shang, but he was unable to grasp the point where he appeared every time he teleported. He was always at a distance from Chen Shang, causing him to always be able to dodge attacks from afar. Chen Shang had continuously avoided the attacks of the Ox-Head Man, and they were all extremely dangerous. At this point in time, they were already far away from the group of Heaven Old Orcs. Human brat, don't run if you have the guts. He had a bad temper, he couldn't hit Chen Shang repeatedly. Although he could follow Chen Shang closely, he couldn't do anything to Chen Shang. Chen Shang suddenly stopped running, and rushed straight towards the Ox-Head Man, and in the moment of flying over, he released a proud divine net that caught the Ox-Head Man in an instant, causing him to be caught unprepared. He did not expect that if Chen Shang did not run, he would not run, and he did not expect even more that Chen Shang would retaliate so quickly. At the same time, the 6 realms mirrors had already appeared above the Ox-Head Man's head. Its mirror image shone down and released a seal, sealing the time and space power and preventing the Ox-Head Man from teleporting away. You want to capture me with a broken net? Dream on. The Minotaur laughed heartily. He wanted to tear apart the primordial divine web, but it was difficult. Chen Shang rushed over from the side, holding the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor seal in his hand, but he did not use the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor seal to attack. Instead, he used the Heavenly Magic Sword to stab the Ox-Head Man's heart, and then using the Emperor seal to attack his chest, he released the world-defying stage divine power through the Emperor seal and poured in the wound on his chest, directly shattering that powerful heart. The heart was the most important, and also the most fatal thing to the Heaven Old Orcs. Usually, there would be extremely strong protection on the chest and back of the Heaven Old Orcs, most of them being something like scales, even the Ox-Heads had it. However, the Heavenly Magic Sword had been refined by a large number of myriad Dao Divine Soil, and became extremely sharp, allowing Chen Shang to easily pierce through it. After the Minotaur's heart was shattered, it died in an instant and lay on its back on the ground. Chen Shang threw his body into the 6 realms mirrors and fed it to the toad. Does this stupid cow really think I'm afraid of him? Chen Shang let out a snort and heaved a sigh of relief. The reason why he ran such a far distance was partly to distance himself from the Heaven Old Orcs army, and partly to make the Tauren believe that he was afraid, so he escaped. In the end, he made the arrogant Tauren lower its guard, and he succeeded in his counterattack. Chen Shang rested for a moment, then used time and space power teleportation. However, this time he was stopped once again, and this time it was even more terrifying than the last. He was directly sent flying out of the space with a slap. You killed the Ox King. You have some skills. You should be the one who killed the Bear King from before. Quote. After Chen Shang was struck, he only felt as if his body was going to split apart. What was even more terrifying was that there was still an extremely terrifying ball of scorching energy raging within his body, and it was so hot that it caused him to feel painful. You, who are you? Chen Shang could only see a middle-aged man wearing a red robe floating in the air. The middle-aged man's head was wrapped in a ball of flame, so he could not see his face. This is the human emperor. I know all about this. Don't worry, I won't eat a guy like you. It's too weak. Chen Shang never thought that he would meet the human emperor in the Heaven Old Orcs so quickly. You killed 3 of my subordinates, now you can pay with your life. The human emperor raised his hand and struck towards Chen Shang. The 6 realms mirrors suddenly leapt out of his body and blocked the palm strike. In addition, a ball of blue light exploded out of the mirror, enveloping the human emperor who was covered in flames. It's water. The human emperor was furious, his voice carried a tinge of fear. Seeing that he was extremely afraid of water, Chen Shang took the chance to use the 6 beasts' power, transforming into a space-time energy and teleported away.